1 degrees. We welcome you to Senior Day here on Bison Hill at the Oklahoma Baptist campus as it is Week 10 of the Great American Conference schedule. Today, it is arguably the biggest game in program history as the Red Hot Bison, winners of 3 straight, 6-3 overall, welcome in 16th ranked and once beaten Henderson State. Hello again, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm Todd Miller along with John Brooks, Scott Wanish, and John Zonlow, our network crew. Glad to have you along as Senior Day festivities are now taking place for 31 members of the green and white Bison football squad. It will be an emotional day today. It also will be a pressure-packed day for both the Reddies as they hope to win a Great American Conference championship and for the Bison as they hope to continue their dream of playing beyond the regular season. We will be back, begin our pregame look at Henderson and Oklahoma Baptist after this opening timeout. Bison football is brought to you by McIntyre Law on the OBU Radio Network. The home schedule for 2021, Oklahoma Baptist, the number 16 ranked Henderson State, about 30 minutes away from kickoff in what is a huge, that's an understatement, a huge football game today for Oklahoma Baptist. Brooksy, we bring you in. Good afternoon to you. No doubt there's a lot on the line today for Oklahoma Baptist. Still, if you win this game, there's one more to be played, but this would be a terrific hurdle to overcome. OBU a chance to knock off a nationally ranked team.
Well, I don't have anything to say because you said everything in your very unique opening, but I will repeat it in case somebody just now joined us. It's very simple. We've been together. This is the 6th year with the network. You were here a year prior to that. You have had your footprints in since Division II began, probation-wise and otherwise, and it's been a long, long haul, and there's been an awful lot of stumbling blocks along the way. And it's nice to finally say, and say it with all clarity, this is the biggest game ever to have been played in the history of Oklahoma Baptist University football. It's not dramatic. It's just a simple state of fact. You said yourself, there's a 3-way tie for the Great American Conference lead with Henderson, Harding, and Ouachita, the Arkansas Powers at 8-1, Southeastern at 7-2, and here sets OBU at 6-3. Knock off Henderson State, spoil their chance for a share of a title. You put yourself ahead of Southeastern State, and you put yourself in a situation where you now have a chance with 2 teams going to the national playoff. You have an opportunity to get one of what is probably going to be 2 postseason bowl games. Do the math. Win today. Take care of business as a favorite next week, and you're in good shape.
Let's get down to the field. Scott Wanish. Scott, a beautiful day to usher out a terrific group of young men that some of them are fifth-year seniors, some are academically juniors, but playing their final games today. Regardless of how you slice or dice this week I have been reflective. I've been reflective about how this program started in 2012 without a season. Today we honor arguably the greatest group of seniors that have come through in terms of wins in program history.
No doubt about it. A lot of emotion down here on the field. You see some tears. I just saw Preston Hare get his picture taken with Coach Jensen. All the Hares are big smiles. Beautiful little daughter that Preston has. And to win this game, Todd, Preston Hare last week at Southern Arkansas did something very unique. Over 100 yards rushing to go with 3 touchdown passes. I think if that happens again today, if Preston Hare does some of those quarterback draws, gets over 100 yards, and then has his mandatory, basically, 300-yard passing game with multiple touchdowns, I think you see a win for OBU here.
Good point, Scott. Last week's 114 rushing yards in Magnolia by Preston Hare, only the second 100-yard rushing game for the now fifth-year senior from the Trophy Club, Texas. He previously went for 149 yards and 2 scores on 5 carries against Arkansas Tech on this field back in 2019. Scott, both of these teams love to throw the football. In fact, 679 passing attempts between Adam Morse and Preston Hare this year. I would say the team that gets the first stop, maybe the first couple of stops, has the best chance to win this, although the wind will be a little bit of a factor today out of the south.
Definitely going to be an advantage going to the north end zone. But you said it, so many passes are going to be in the air by Preston Hare. Henderson's going to let it fly as well. But, you know, cornerback Deldrick O'Brien for Henderson has 4 interceptions today. So I know he's licking his chops trying to get into one of those passing lanes in front of Harris or Josh Cornell. And then at the same time, Jay Jordan, if you remember last week, he anticipated that interception deep in southern Arkansas territory to let up to the game-winning touchdown.
All right, that's our pregame start to this look at Henderson State and Oklahoma Baptist. When we return, it's our weekly visit with head coach Chris Jensen. That's coming up next on the Bison Radio Network.
Okay, let's look at this list and see how many contributors there are.
Over the final 30 minutes.
We did, you know, and obviously I say this every week, it sounds like, but credit to Southern Arkansas. They have a talented football team, and their record doesn't necessarily reflect the quality of team that they are. They just have had some breaks go against them, and, you know, I felt like they played a good game up until the turnover at the end of the game, and that really helped us get the momentum turned, getting the interception by Jay Jordan, and then able to score there and then hold on at the very end.
Okay, let's talk about the offensive line. I told you before we came on, I thought it was one of the better performances of the year because you and I last week were lamenting about how just with 3-man fronts, Southern Arkansas can get home and get to the quarterback. They didn't have any success against Preston last week.
Yeah, not giving up a sack, that was a huge accomplishment for Coach Gothard and the whole offensive line. You know, Preston played a part in that too, and his elusiveness at times, but, you know, that was a concern going into it. And, you know, they were able to hold up really well.
For the second straight week, the offensive line in combination with Tyler Stever have won the football game, I think, in the fourth quarter. You guys look like the fresher team, better legs. You did it against Southeastern. You did it again in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah, we've got an emphasis on running the ball in those situations and being able to close the game out. We've got an emphasis, a period that we do in practice that emphasizes that. And I know it's not fun to do that in practice. It's kind of a drudgery, but we've kind of rallied around it, and it's helped us the last 2 weeks.
Okay, I want to talk about two guys. First of all, Braden Phipps. We've seen signs, little flashes of him in 2 years here on Bison Hill, but hasn't been used a whole lot this season. But he had two huge catches that, when you look at the box score, show he had 4 for the afternoon. But those on 3rd and long and 4th and long that kept touchdown drives alive, I thought were really big plays.
Yeah, and that was critical. He was in there for key, and he was able to make those plays and get those first downs. And it's a big deal. Our 3rd down and 4th down efficiency is something that we really work on and try to plan around, and to be able to convert those was huge.
I thought one of the biggest plays that nobody talks about in the ball game was Peyton Russell, your deep snapper, running down the return guy for an attempted 2-point conversion off that blocked extra point.
Yeah, and that's something everybody in the stands is probably thinking, what's going on here? We try for 1, and if they return it past the other goal line, they get 2 points on that deal. And so it is a huge effort. We call that a huge heart play. We got a different word for it in our program. But Peyton Russell being able to do that, and one of the things I was really proud about was Chad Anderson, one of our freshman offensive linemen who's on PAT field goal. He was in the picture. He didn't make the tackle, but he was in the picture at the end of the play, and so I was proud of him as well.
Good win over Southern Arkansas. Anytime you go on the road of this conference and come back with a W, it's really, really big. And while beating the Mule Riders for the first time in program history is important, it's not the end-all, be-all for this season.
It's not. We've got a huge game. That game just sets this one up a little bit more. Got a huge game for our program, one of the biggest in our history. With Henderson State coming here with the success they've had this year, they're tied for first again. It'll be the second time in the last 2 home games that we have somebody tied for first coming into our place, and we've got to play well. We're capable. We just got to do it on the field.
The numbers would lend one to believe this will be an offensive shootout. Top 2 ranked offenses in the conference. What scares you the most about Henderson State and their weapons on offense?
They've got 2 All-American caliber receivers and a quarterback that can get the ball to them, but they're also capable in the other receiver positions as well, and their tight end gets a lot of catches. So you see defenses doing things to take 15 and 6 out of the game, and those other guys can beat you as well. And their quarterback's very efficient at getting the ball to those receivers.
Defensively, Henderson State has yielded some numbers, but this is a team on that side of the ball that too has been opportunistic.
They have been. They get turnovers at the right time, and they bend, but they don't break a whole lot. And so, we've got to finish drives for sure. When we get in the red zone, we've got to continue our efficiency down there.
One of the things I've really liked about this football team, and it probably goes with being a veteran club, is sudden change. And I mean, when you force turnovers, it seems like you parlay those into points. Also, when things go bad against you, last week, the kickoff, you guys immediately came back and did not let that define the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, you have to have short memory on those things. And, as far as the big plays that go against you, and just come out and play one play at a time. You can't do it all at one time, but you got to play one play at a time. And we've had a lot of success doing that, and we make a big deal about sudden change and how important it is to make them pay whenever they turn the ball over, and we've been able to do that as well.
All right, we talk about this every year, the dreaded senior day. This year probably carries a little bit more weight, will be a little more emotional. 31 guys will be honored today before the game. And Chris, this is a special group. Not only have they been with you a long time, but they've had to battle through something nobody else has had to do, and that's a pandemic. And they elected to come back and exercise that other year and to help continue to build this program.
Yeah, and that's something we'll be indebted to them for a long time, especially with the way they've approached their business on the football field and kind of positioned this program to be successful moving forward. Very indebted to them, and we're also going to recognize 5 support personnel, one of those being my daughter. It's been a blessing to have Cameron here and having to say goodbye to her and the rest of the managers. that's going to hurt as well. But, these players and the managers and everybody that's been part of this program have gone through a lot, and they have a great record to show for it.
All right, keys to beating a nationally ranked opponent.
Well, we've got to do what we've done the last couple of weeks, and we've got to, we've got to first of all take one play at a time, and take care of the football, force a turnover at an opportune time, get a stop at an opportune time, be sound on special teams, all those typical things that are demanded when you play a caliber opponent that we're going to play. Those are things that we've got to do.
Forcing turnovers, that's going to be very, very key today. Both of these two teams are on the plus side of the turnover margin. OBU is +2. Henderson State is +6. Buckle up. It is going to be a Wild West shootout today between Preston Hare and Adam Morse. The two quarterbacks have combined for almost 5,400 passing yards and 54 touchdowns. Morse with 24, Preston Hare with 30. And as we alluded to earlier in the pregame show, the two have combined for 679 passing attempts through 9 games. When we return, one of those being honored today is Washington Junior Tyler Stever. We will talk to the husband and the father, as well as the outstanding teammate. That's coming up next after these local messages on the Bison Radio Network. At Oklahoma Baptist, and I'll start you off right here. You don't care anything about 2,000 yards. You don't care anything about all the touchdowns. You care about the progress. I think it's fair to say that this program's made.
Yeah, I'm just super honest or super humbled to be in this this opportunity. I never really thought of myself being able to beat all these records and be up to the standard that I'm at right now, but I'm just super blessed to be here.
I asked you before we came on, Tyler, what goals did you set, or any personal goals did you have coming from Washington High School here to OBU?
So, starting off coming from Washington, a 2A football, I really didn't think that I was going to be able to play all that much until usually around my junior or senior year. And I thought I would just, rotate in or something like that. But it's just crazy to think that since my freshman year, I've been starting games, and that a guy from Washington, Oklahoma can be in the position I am right now.
It's kind of crazy to think how quick time flies, too, doesn't it? I mean, you're technically a junior, but you've been here for 4 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just, that song, Don't Blink? That's really, it's true. Because it feels like yesterday that I was here just coming on campus, and just playing football, you know.
Some of the best to ever play at their respective positions here at OBU, and you're one of them at running back, have built this program from where it was 4 years ago when you first stepped into Shawnee to where it is now. How important is that legacy for you guys?
So I came in after the season of 2-9, I believe, and I just remember coming in my freshman year and the seniors when I was a freshman just talking about how big it was just to have a winning record in a season, and just to be able to do that and build off of that and keep going to where we are right now and possibly winning out the rest of our games. It just means everything to me, and I'm just super blessed.
One of the things I've always admired about you is how you compartmentalize things. Your role as a student, your role as a football player, your role as a husband and a daddy. I see a lot of pictures with you and Stella after games. How special is that moment when your daughter, after you come off that field, have to share that moment?
It just means everything to me. I mean, they're the reason that I'm here at OBU, the reason that I play football and go to school just so I can make a better life for us. I just couldn't imagine not seeing them after the games.
And you know what? Stella ultimately doesn't care if you win or lose, rush for 150 yards or 25. That makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah. Even if I say I have a bad game, I mean, just seeing her face, it's just everything.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. It's personal. 20, tough year for you. You lose your dad. You don't play football. How difficult has this been, this start back up without having your dad?
So, it was more difficult towards the beginning of the season. I realized whenever he was gone, and I've gone through the games that we've been through, how much I looked up to him and how much I would play for him pretty much. I just remember in junior high and high school and up until now, all I want to do was make him happy. Just seeing him after the games and seeing a smile on his face, that just made my day.
Now you want to make yourself happy and your teammates happy, and that starts with arguably the biggest game in program history here today against Henderson State.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is by far the biggest game in OBU history. I think that we'll get it done. I think we'll get the W. I think our defense will step up, and I know our offense will just keep doing what we've been doing, and we'll win. I know we will.
I had asked Chris Jensen, this your head coach, in the previous segment. It seems like in the last two games when we've had to run the football against good defensive fronts, Southeastern and last week at Southern Arkansas, you have been able to get the job done. I mean, conditioning is something that you and your offensive teammates take a lot of pride in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. We are, I think, by far the best conditioned team in the GAC. It's pretty obvious because coming back from after the half and coming in the third quarter, I mean, I know I'm ready to go, and I've had probably even more energy than what I did in the first half. So just being able to be conditioned like we are, I think just sets us apart from everybody else.
This year you've rotated in a little bit more with Ruben. Has that helped to keep your legs a little more fresh, too, in stretches of the game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And me and Coach Monahan have talked about this, and with Ruben, too. It's just we think that just rotating everybody else in, it'll just keep our legs fresh, and it'll just allow us to have those big runs that we have.
That is Tyler Stever, the 6'2", 220-pound junior from Washington, Oklahoma. To know Tyler is to love him. He's a terrific young man. My heart was broken this week when I heard that he had decided he would not come back for his final year here at Oklahoma Baptist. One can certainly respect that decision. Family is the most important thing to Tyler. His wife, Kaylin, and his beautiful daughter, Stella, come first, and he now will finish his academic requirements here and graduate from Oklahoma Baptist. We talked about Ruben Thompson. He's having a career year in terms of visits to the end zone. Sadly enough, the senior from Jinx will not play today, so we may see a little bit more from Nate Anderson, the true freshman from Owasso and Rejoice Christian Academy. So that's kind of the running back situation. I think it's going to be be very, very key for Oklahoma Baptist to establish a run of some sort as they did last week, especially in the second half against Southern Arkansas. So numbers on Stever this year: 179 carries, 924 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He needs 76 rushing yards today, become just the second Bison to eclipse 1,000 yards in a season. Isaiah Mallory did it back in 2016 with 1,083 yards. More on our pregame show as we get you closer to kickoff. It's Oklahoma Baptist and 16th ranked Henderson State on the Bison Radio Network.
Don't let what I told you last week about the word get to your head before we get out of this deal, okay?
If you only knew how much that messes with me when you say that.
What do you mean?
It really bothers me. It's really in my head.
What? You got a compliment from me last week.
I know.
Well, that should be in your head, the compliment. Put the compliment in your head. I even sent you a nice text. Remember?
You did.
I thought you'd be excited. I thought you'd send me back a little flower. A little curly flower? You send me a curly flower.
What kind of flowers you like? Big game, baby. Live from the Hurt Athletic Complex.
Hey, watch that coin toss for me, would you? Okay.
Well, good luck today on the numbers of the opposition. Look at it.
Oh. Captains are meeting at midfield. Oklahoma Baptist in the green and white tops. Henderson State in the white and crimson tops over crimson bottoms. Before we continue, let's step aside for stations to identify themselves on the Bison Radio Network.
Just a second, I was looking at the
That is today's pregame show. Back after these local messages on the Bison Radio Network.
You know what I find interesting?
Yes.
You saw that one to toss?
First time I've seen 2 captains instead of 4, and the first time I've seen an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, and you don't have a quarterback as one of your captains. I think that's interesting.
Do too. See? Cut it off. I go by that clock.
It went to 0.
Huh?
It went to 0. There's 20 seconds up there and I saw it run off.
Put it in the end zone. 10 best offenses in scoring offense. OBU will kick it away, and the Bison will have the wind at their back here in the first quarter out of the south. Game time temperature 64 degrees. Guillermo Garcia Rodriguez spots it on the tee, and here we go. It's a deep onside kick. Henderson State falls on it beyond the 25, near the 27-yard line. So instead of putting the ball in the end zone, OBU kicks it on a squib kick or a deep onside kick up the middle of the field.
Yeah, Todd, I would think you'd want to do that into the wind instead of the wind to your back, so you're going to lose some yardage there, but it looked like it was a designed onside kick, and maybe Garcia just kicked it a little too hard.
First down and 10, Henderson State. The offense led by Adam Morse. He has 4 touchdowns the last 3 weeks. He's thrown for over 2,700 yards and 24 touchdowns. He does have the ability, though, to turn the ball over, 10 interceptions. Wide receivers left and right. First play from scrimmage, a throw out right, and it's incomplete. They were looking for, no surprise, Elliott Curry, a Sooner State prodigy from Guthrie, started his collegiate career at UCO. This guy is as good a receiver as you're going to find, maybe as good a player as you're going to find at the Division II level.
Yeah, Curry was wide open on that square out. A nice release by the quarterback Morris. Wasn't even close to on target.
Second down and 10. Henderson State going into the wind from north to south here with the opening quarter to play. Tied in is right, 2 receivers left. Curry is in the slot to the near side. Morse gets the snap back from Hunter Knobs. Here comes the pressure, and Morse is drilled as he threw the football, and it was Josh Arnold at his senior day that came unmolested on a blitz and was able to get to the quarterback.
Boy, Henderson's going to have to pick up those blocking schemes. Our OBU can be in the backfield all day. Untouched, Josh Arnold right up the gap.
Bison have won 3 straight since a heartbreaking loss at Arkansas Tech a month ago. Henderson State has won back-to-back games, including last week at home against Southern Nazarene after 3 weeks ago losing to nationally ranked Harding. Third down and 10 for the Reddies. On third down, they're second best in the conference at 54%. They need to get to the 37-yard line. 2-by-1 set, single running back to throw. Morse throws deep over the middle. The ball is caught for a first down just beyond the 45-yard line. And on the catch was Xavier Malone, who's really taken over the duties from Chase Lodry as the number 2 target of Adam Morse.
Yeah, Malone just sat down right in the middle of the defense on the post. A lot of time for Morse to throw.
A gain of 20 on the first completion today for Adam Morse. First down number 1 for Henderson State. They are second in the conference, averaging just a tick under 28 first downs per ball game. 2/10 of a first down less than OBU. They set a screen up for Malone near side. Malone down the numbers 40, cuts left 30, and Xavier Malone is inside the 30-yard line at the 28, and that was just a simple screen play that was well executed.
Well, Malone got loose because Elliott Curry made a great block as that pass was being thrown to the right side.
First quarter scores or first half scores. Southeastern leads at Ouachita 7-0 into the second. Southern Arkansas and Bethany leads 14-10 over SNU. That game is in the second quarter as well. Here it's first and 10 Reddish just outside the OBU red zone at the 28-yard line. First handoff of the contest goes to Deuce Sproles, and he tiptoes his way forward for maybe a yard to the 27. Sproles is a redshirt senior from Fort Worth, Texas. That's his 101st carry of the year. Now 463 yards on the ground, and he has 9 touchdowns.
Good job by Malik Allen and Nick Boone on that play.
Second down and 9 for Henderson State. We've played almost 2 minutes here on this opening drive. Henderson State started back at their own 27. Empty backfield. Sproles is in the slot to the near side. It's a 3-by-2 look for Morse. He drops to the 33, pump fakes, now pulls it down, coming right, running out of time. Gets past defenders, and then he's popped hard at the 25-yard line.
And Nick Boone finished him off as Papula that initially got the hand on the right foot of Adam Morse.
2-yard run for Morse. He is dangerous scrambling with the football. That's his 59th carry. He now has over 230 rushing yards. Third down and 7 from the 25-yard line for Henderson State. 12.5 minutes to go, first quarter in the biggest game in Bison football history. Tight end motions from right to left of the formation. Moore's out of the gun, gets the snap, drops to the 33, throws it out right. The ball is tipped and incomplete. They were looking for Elliott Curry, and OBU did a great job of jumping the route that time.
That was Jay Jordan who had the big interception last week, led to the game-winning touchdown. Jay Jordan all over Curry, reaches up with the left hand, deflects the pass away.
Let's see if longtime head coach Scott Maxfield, who's in his 16th season, second all-time winningest coach in the Arkadelphia University Schools history, will go for it, and he keeps Morris and company out there with the field. Their third, and this will be their 18th conversion attempt on fourth down. Third best in the conference at just under 77%. 4th and 7 on the 25-yard line. 4 receivers wide left, 3 in a triangle set. Back to throw is Morris, pocket holes, throws it over the middle, ball incomplete. He threw it behind Elliott Curry, and there was good coverage again by Oklahoma Baptist.
You said that you were hoping that they could get a couple of stops for the afternoon. They're at 50% of your wish right now.
Well, that is as good as you can hope for, because now OBU will have the football to start the second half, and Henderson State moves upfield from the 27 to the Bison 25 before turning it over on downs. And a big stop for an OBU defense that is 7th in the GAC in fourth down opponent conversions at just under 53%. Here comes the record-setting senior signal caller, Preston Hare of the Bison offense, with 12:16 to play in the first quarter. There's no score. Stever is the single setback, offset to the right. They fake the hand. No, it is a handoff to Stever, coming left, and he manages to get 6 as he stretches beyond the 30 to the 31-yard line. Henderson State against the run this year has been pretty good, although they're allowing almost 172 yards per game. That ranks them in the middle of the 12 teams of the Great American Conference. Second down, a long 4. The ball is spotted at the 30-yard line. Opening possession of the afternoon for OBU. Hare gets the snap. Now he's going to run. Hare across the 30 to the 35, spun down right beyond the first down marker at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 5.5. First down number 1 for the league leader in first downs, Oklahoma Baptist.
There it is, that quarterback draw by design for Preston Hare, as we saw 114 yards rushing last week in Magnolia.
You know, people think about Preston as a thrower, and they should, but you know he's in the top 5 in all-time rushing yards at Oklahoma Baptist. First and 10 at the 36. Handoff again to Stever, running right and going behind Zach Frazier and J.T. Vonger. He is cut down as he gets about 1.5 yards, close to the 38. Second down upcoming for OBU. No score, and we're 4 minutes into the first quarter.
On that fourth down play that Oklahoma Baptist stopped Henderson, it was Josh Arnold who got a fingertip to deflect the pass.
Second and 8. Hare is yet to take to the air, and this is the fourth play of the opening drive of the afternoon for the Bison. Preston hands it straight ahead. Stever was stacked up, and then Tyler lunges to the 41-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up third down and 5. Henderson State, opponent third down conversion this year is 9th. They have been very generous at 44%.
Well, they're actually going to mark it at the 43. He leaped out of about a handhold of about 3 players, but I think his knee drugged the turf. So they set it back 2. The ball's at the 41.
Long 4 on the third down try. OBU needs to get to their own 46-yard line. Third down, a long 4 from the 43. Hare to drop and throw for the first time, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Keelan Harris on a slant over the middle, and he was open, but Preston just made a poor connection.
Well, on that play, there's so much beef on the front line of Henderson that Preston Hare had to look for a passing lane, and he couldn't get between the tackles. He had to throw it over the helmet, so the ball was a little bit high.
Yeah, that's really a good point.
Ethan McCassett is on to punt, the redshirt sophomore athletically, but he will graduate in the spring. Went through senior day ceremony, so this is his final home game. Out of Frisco, Texas, Wakeland High School, averaging almost 39 yards a punt. It's a good one, an end-over-end kick, hits at the 10, takes a big hop and manages to get into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback for Henderson State. With 10:04 to go here in the opening quarter, brought to you by Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law on the Bison Network. 59 yards, 59 yards, for Ethan McCassett. His career best this season has been 60-yarder, so he didn't miss by much there.
I tell you, the Bison came very quick. When that ball hit at the 5, it sailed straight up in the air. Scott, you saw it, and for a moment I thought, hey, that baby's going to drop right back down in between the 5, and the first player down had an opportunity at it. I think it was somebody.
Tyler King, I thought, wasn't it?
Well, it might have been, yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it was Tyler King. Yeah.
All right, we got a timeout on the field. We'll pause as well. 10:04 to play, opening quarter. No score. Each team with a possession early. First half brought to you by Noble McIntyre Law and the Bison Network.
Noble McIntyre.
And I'm Jordan Klinger of McIntyre Law.
The devastation of losing a loved one is impossible to measure. When it happens because of someone else's negligence, the grief can be overwhelming. Wrongful death cases are unique.
Whether the cause was an automobile, semi, motorcycle, medical malpractice, or job-related accident, we can help.
If you want
for Henderson State, 8-1, ranked 16th in NCAA Division II football. They managed an impressive first down drive of multiple first downs that bogged down on drives on downs at the 25 their first time. Back to the ground game, they'll hand it off to Deuce Sproles with some running room behind left guard Blaze Smith, and he is out to the 28-yard line, a quick gain of 8 on first down.
What do you think, guys? Do you think if most people would have asked you about this start of this game that you'd have a defensive stop on both sides of the two most offensive teams in the conference?
I think you're right. You could have won some money somewhere if there was a line on that. Scoring offense, Henderson State is second, averaging 42 a game. Oklahoma Baptist is fourth, averaging just a tick under 38. Second down and 2 for the Reddies. They motion a man to the near side. Now it's a quarterback keeper, and Morris is hit and tackled for a loss. Back at the 26-yard line. Good play by the Bison defense. Xavier Lott was the one that got in the backfield. A loss of 3 back to the 25 brings up third down and 5. 9:06 in county to play first quarter.
You know, Xavier had a chance to make a mistake there. He could have bought the fake. He didn't, and he was waiting for that tackle.
You're right. Brooksy stayed home, and as a result gets a tackle for a loss. Third down and 5, Henderson State. OBU will rush 3. Now they're showing some pressure off the right edge of the defense. Morse quickly throws a slant over the middle. He has Curry, who was stopped right at the first down marker, then spins and dives forward for 2 more to the 35 for a gain of 7 and another third down ready conversion.
Good job by Adam Morse recognizing the blitz, hit the hot receiver on the slant in. Tyler King was all over Curry. They're bodying up each other, just a perfect pass.
Elliott Curry, last year second team D2 All-American, this year a preseason All-American. He is just a terrific player, over 1,100 receiving yards now and 12 touchdowns on the season. Handoff goes to Sproles, running left. He was hit behind the line, stays on his feet and manages to get close to the 38-yard line. That's almost a run of 5 on first down.
Xavier Lott's upset with himself. He was in the backfield once again, had his fingertips on the running back but couldn't grab him in the backfield.
Tell you what, guys, it's going to be tough all day if you allow 4 and 5 yards a pop against this ready offense on first down. They're averaging almost 6 on first down snaps here with their second drive of the afternoon. Second and 5, they motion a man to the near side. Morse to throw, looking over the middle. He's got Curry, and it's incomplete. And he took a big-time hit from Jay Jordan, the corner, just as the ball hit Elliott Curry's hands.
Talk about perfectly timed, and I mean perfectly timed. In fact, he could have had pass interference had he not had some discipline right there. He waited that exact second that you needed to take, and as soon as that ball touched his hand, it was bingo, goodbye, hit the turf.
Clock stops on the incompleted pass. 7:40 to go opening quarter. Todd Miller, Scott Wattis, John Brooks. 3rd and 5 Reddies at their own 38-yard line. A scoreless first quarter. Defenses have been the dominant force here early. Back to throw is Morse. Here comes the pressure. Throws it out right. Ball is caught. 45-50 outside the numbers to the 40. And down he goes inside the 35-yard line. On the reception was Mike Benning, who is a backup tight end and a junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, Benning was on the line of scrimmage acted like he was blocking, broke free. Nobody went with him.
30 yards for Benning. He has one catch this year that went for 35, and that's a big one. It gets them out of a hole back at their own 38. And for the second time in as many possessions, Henderson has moved into OBU's end of the field, this time at the 33. Tied in left, two receivers this way, and one split wide left. Single set back is Sproles. Morris to throw, looking right, throws left, wide open Curry at the 22, and then he's wrapped up and pushed backwards by Trajan Lands, and that should be another pass reception for a first down.
You know, you said wide open, and he was wide open when he turned and the ball came to him. But the coverage was actually pretty good. He did a good job of kind of jumping in between the two defenders.
First down catch goes for 11 to the 22, so Henderson State just 2 yards shy of advancing into the OBU red zone for the first time with 6:39 to play here in a scoreless first quarter. Morris hands it off to Sproles, tiptoeing around the right end. Sproles dives down at the 19 for a gain of 3.
Josh Arnold, the first guy to hit Sproles' ankles to knock him down.
They are now in the red zone. Nick Boone also assisted on that stop. Henderson State is among the nation's best in red zone efficiency coming into this ball game. In fact, for the year, they lead the NCAA at 91%, having scored 38 touchdowns inside the opponent's red zone. Second and 7, Reddies at the 19. Already more than halfway through the first quarter from Shawnee. A quickly played opening quarter. There's no score. Morse to throw. Throws it out right, and another receiver wide open at the 23. And then dump truck down after a first down reception. And that looked like it's Mike Benning again, as Benning is out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, the Bison doing a good job picking up wide receivers, but ever since Benning, when he goes on the end, acts like he's blocking, he's unaccounted for.
First and goal to go for Henderson State from the 9. The Reddies in the red zone this year have 38 touchdowns and a good balance, 23 rushing scores and 15 passing. They're at the 9, trying to draw first blood here in this key game between number 16 Henderson State and Oklahoma Baptist. Sproles gets the handoff, good run block into the left side, and Sproles is tackled to the 4. And when he got the handoff, it looked like he might go almost untouched for 9 to the score.
It was big enough for a truck. I mean, it was a big, big hole.
Will Hawkins and Blaze Smith, the left tackle and left guard respectively, clearing the way. Sproles has 9 touchdowns, and all of them but one have come inside the red zone. Second and goal to go, Reddies at the 4 of Oklahoma Baptist. The tight end motions to the near side. They'll toss it this way to Sproles. He's hemmed in, cuts left, and is short of the goal line. They'll tackle him at about the 1 as a flag comes in, and Robert Lolafy is credited for the tackle.
This one's going to go against Henderson State.
Henderson State coming into the ball game is not a real penalized team. In fact, they only have, for the year, 42 penalties. That ranks them behind Harding at OBU. They average just less than 44 yards of penalty yardage per ball game. And here is the indication. It is a hold against Henderson State, and that is big because it now puts them back outside the 10-yard line.
It's interesting where that, where the flag was thrown. On that sweep that time, he cuts back inside, outside the 2 big tight ends that were blocking for him on the perimeter. And it was at that point where the flag was thrown. I think somebody must have grabbed somebody just as he made the cut.
Line of scrimmage back at the 14, so it's second and goal to go from that point for Henderson State with 4:32 to play here in the opening quarter. They'll motion Sproles from slot right to line up as the single back in the backfield. 2 tight ends left. Sproles gets the handoff. Now it's a reverse. Coming right with blockers, Malone, and Malone is in for the touchdown.
Well, you get those blockers out in front. It was tough to stop Malone. Nice design play by the Reddies with the reverse.
Yeah, it was an excellent call. And actually, the Bison had an opportunity to prevent that touchdown. They had a chance to make a tackle, but it was a nice cutback for the 6 points.
Here is David Heaton on for the extra point, and the kick is on the way, and it hit the left upright. It bounds away, so a break for Oklahoma Baptist on the missed point after try. Henderson State dominated this opening quarter, but leads just 7-0.
You see that flag? It's blowing from the south, but it's really blowing from the southwest, and that that ball would have been clearly through the uprights on any kind of a situation other than that. The wind had shifted just enough, and it caught it, blew it off that left upright.
Time out of the field. Back after these messages from Noble McIntyre. 6-0 Henderson State on the Bison Radio Network.
Are we able to talk? No.
It's all recorded.
Scoring drive for Henderson State, just under 5 minutes of duration, 80 yards, 11 plays, and it was the first rushing touchdown of the year for Xavier Malone. In fact, it was a 14-yard run. His longest run this season has been 15. 6-0 Henderson State after the extra point was missed. So the Bison will get a chance now to return this one as they have Braden Phipps along with Jai Moore deep to receive. And this kickoff, which is coming from David Heaton, a transfer from the University of Louisiana at Monroe, will be into that wind out of the south. David Heaton has taken over the place-kicking chores for Timo Martinez, who's been a stay in that category for Henderson State. Squib kick up the middle. It is fumbled. The ball is free, and I think OBU came back up with it. It hit the hands of Jay Hill, and Hill was able to dive on it at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Oklahoma Baptist did that with the opening kickoff, but that was with the wind to their backs. That was something that I would expect, like Henderson did, a little squib into that brisk south wind.
All right, let's see what Preston Hare and company can do right here. Hare orchestrated a drive that picked up 18 yards from the Bison, 45 to OBU's 43, and picked up one first down with their first possession. Stever, who had a lion's share of the carries on that first possession, gets a little swing pass left. He's in trouble, looking to get to the line of scrimmage. He does as he falls back to the 34-yard line. He was lucky to get the 4 yards from the backfield back to the original line.
I thought Preston Hare had a free play there because the left defensive end jumped the snap, and there was no flag right in front of the side judge.
No gain.
I'm with you.
Second down and 10 at the 34-yard line. Stever, the single setback. Tight end Sharp is right. Hare to throw, has all day long. Now Preston is running right, and he throws it across the way, and the ball is caught at the 38-yard line and falling out of bounds after his first catch of the afternoon is tight end Sam Sharp.
And Sam Sharp was the only athlete in green and white out there that was even close to being open, and that was because he broke off the coverage and came back to catch the ball.
Bison are 0 of 1 on third down today. This is third along 6 at the 38-yard line of their own end of the field with 3:15 in counting to play here in the first quarter. 6-0 Henderson State. Josh Cordell has been quiet, motions to the near side. They dump it over the middle for Cordell. He didn't expect the pass, and the defender Tim Jennings made a break in front of Josh. That was almost disastrous. And now it's 4th and 6, and OBU's offense for 2 straight series looks really out of sync.
Well, I think the most out of sync thing is we've seen it before with these heavy winds, and it takes Preston a little bit of a while to adjust. On that throw to Keelan Harris that ended that last drive, and on this one here, that ball just floated differently than you normally see. Don't you agree when it comes out of his hands?
I agree with you, Brooksy. Cameron Thomas to await the punt from McCassin, and he shanked it. It's an end-over-end kick, and it goes out of bounds near midfield.
Well, he shanked it because there was a heavy rush, and he did not have much of an opportunity to do anything but that. If he tries to kick that ball forward instead of straight up in the air, I promise you it's laying somewhere back in the south end zone right now.
They're putting the ball down at the 45-yard line of Henderson State. So the Reddies, with a lot of offensive momentum, now will have a short field with which to work with after just a 17-yard punt.
You talk about wasting the wind in the first quarter for OBU. They're not going to score with the probably on offense with the rifle of Preston Hare going with the wind. You don't kick the ball, the opening kickoff into the end zone, and then you have a shank punt with the wind to your back.
1st and 10 for Adam Morse and the Reddies at the 45-yard line. OBU's defense needs to get a stop right here. 3-man front. OBU showing some pressure again up the middle with Nick Boone. They'll hand it off to Deuce Sproles, and Sproles ran right into, I believe, Nick Boone, who drops him in his tracks at the 47, a gain of 2.
Josh Arnold there as well.
Josh Arnold, Nick Boone, 2nd and 3rd respectively in the Great American Conference, entering the penultimate week of the regular season in tackles. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. We're under 2.5 minutes to play in a rapidly played first quarter. Henderson State leading Oklahoma Baptist 6-0. 2 tight ends, and Sproles is the single setback. Wide receivers left and right. Morse a deep drop all the way to his 37. Now it's flushed, runs into a defender, and down he goes. Lola Fia got him at the 45-yard line, so it's a loss of 2, and now it's 3rd down and long again for the Reddies.
Great job by Robert Lolafia. He is rushing from the outside. He hooked and did a cross out on the left side. He saw Morse pull up in the front. He got off the block and went straight horizontally for the sack.
I'll tell you, one of the things I wanted to look for in this game is whether OBU could get home today against Morse. Henderson State has only allowed 10 sacks this year. OBU leads the conference after a couple last week at Southern Arkansas with 23. 3rd down and 10 to the 45-yard line. Big play here. Morse drops all the way to the 36 under pressure, and there's a sack right there. No, yeah, he throws it away, and a flag comes in. They're going to get him for intentional grounding. Nick Boone was the one that had him, and Adam Morse somehow did a Houdini act one dog and just somehow stayed on his feet. Looked like OBU was going to get him down for a sack at the 35.
I think they pick up that flag. I think Nick Boone had the sack because Morse's knees were down, and then he let loose of the pass.
Well, that's what I thought, and they kept the play going. So we'll see here in a moment from our referee, Dwayne Barbie. Dwayne Barbie is visiting with Chris Jensen, as is the head linesman of the near side. Nonetheless, it would appear as Oklahoma Baptist has forced a stop defensively. Here is Barbie. Ineligible receiver downfield against Henderson State. OBU will decline it. And looks like they're going to call it an incompleted pass. The line of scrimmage still at the 45.
We all thought there was going to be intentional grounding. I thought it could have been. He was outside the tackle, but there was not a player within 30 yards of where the ball went. But interestingly enough, I think the flag was thrown even prior to him going down and making the toss with the ineligible receiver downfield.
Alvear awaits the punt, coming from Tristan Heaton, a sophomore from Humble, Texas. This is only the 18th punt, and we are in week 10 this year for Henderson State. Snap coming back from Thomas Hathorn, and now it's a fake. They snap it to the up man, and OBU has it snipped out. Henderson State is going to turn it over on downs at the OBU 47-yard line as they snapped it to the up man that time, and that is Deuce Sproles, the running back.
Caden Sadeo with the saving tackle.
Yeah. I'd call that saving. He goes 9. He's a yard short of the first down, and instead of the chains moving, they do move, but they move the other way, and the Bison have great field position late in the first at the 47.
Best starting field position of the afternoon for the Bison of their own 47 with Stever in the backfield. Cordell, one of 3 receivers to the near side, starts in motion. His final game here on Bison Hill at home. Hare wants to throw, now is flush for the pocket. He has running room across the way and slides down at the 45-yard line of Henderson State. 8 yards on Scott, what looked almost to be like a designed run.
Yeah. Preston's doing a lot better job now by letting the pass rushers go past him, and when that happens, Preston Hare draws and gets the easy 8 yards.
70 seconds to go, first quarter. They give him 7 to the 46. Hare hands it off again to Stever. Stever with a first down inside the 40. And the junior from Washington, Oklahoma, who's approaching 1,000 yards on the season, manages to get a first down at the 38.
57 seconds left in the first quarter. Just a little bit of time here. Oklahoma Baptist on Henderson's 38 got a chance to use that wind with a nice pass play.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. Stever the single set back, a 3-by-1 formation for Hare. Gives it again to Stever, and he was hit, lunges forward to the 36. Give him 2, and Henderson State was able to get good penetration that time. I think it was Jake Chapman, the linebacker, that was the one that made the play. He's a redshirt junior from League City, Texas. Chapman last week had a 62-yard interception return against Southern Nazarene for Henderson State's only score after halftime. Second and 8 at the 36. Bison in Henderson territory for the first time today. 2 tight ends, and now Harris going to keep it. Running left, bounces outside, tried to get to the corner, and didn't get much as he is going to be ushered out of bounds by Tim Jennings at the 34-yard line. So give him just a couple, and here we go again, another 3rd down and 6 situation.
Hare got pushed out of bounds, and he got pushed deep out of bounds. And a couple of players came over for a little protection there. Reminded me of all my hockey days when somebody took a cheap shot, and here came about 3 guys out to take care of somebody.
Bison are 0 of 2 on 3rd down tries. Their average length of conversion is 5. This is 6 at the ready 34-yard line with 11 seconds and counting to go in the opening quarter. They fake the handoff. Preston rolling right. Throws on the run. Has Cornell at the 20, to the 15, Josh to the 10, to the 5, breaking tackles. Touchdown, Oklahoma Baptist.
Beautiful play design. Keelan Harris goes out on the out pattern. 2 readies go with him, leaving Cornell open in the middle, and a nice cutback by Cornell.
And that's the first time that a receiver has truly been open against this defense in the first quarter, and the first quarter is over. Why not make that play at the end of the quarter?
24th touchdown, extended his career record for OBU, 12th of his final year here on OBU's Bison Hill. Here is Garcia for the extra point. High snap. McCassin gets it down. Garcia with plenty of leg, and it is good. So with 1 second to play here in the first quarter, the Bison are on the high side for the first time. It's 7-6. We'll pause for these local messages on the Bison Radio Network.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
One second to go here in the first quarter. Garcia was set to kick it off. The ball falls off the tee again. Late first quarter numbers, OBU has 72 yards of total offense on 13 plays. Henderson State has ran 10 more, 23 snaps for 146 of the Bison's 72. 34 came on the Hare to Cornell hookup for the first score of the ball game for OBU. Bison lead. Number 16, Henderson State in Shawnee, 7-6. Guillermo Garcia will approach from 10 yards, and he will boot this one away with the wind to his back, and it will sail into the end zone. And for Gigi, that will be touchback number 22 of his freshman season here in Shawnee.
How about that? I thought that OBU squandered the wind with 1 second left, throws a touchdown pass with the wind of their back to Cornell. Of course, the clock doesn't run on the kickoff, so get a kickoff into the end zone just in the nick of time.
First quarter of action brought to you by Noble McIntyre. Also Bison Football Today brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust Company, SSM Health, St. Anthony Hospital, Shawnee, and shopobubison.com. Reddies have it. Final official play of the first quarter, barring a defensive penalty with 1 second to go here in the quarter. So if you expected a high-scoring game, raise your hand. We all did here in the booth, but it's only 7-6 as we played 15 minutes. Barring something strange here in the final play of the first quarter. Sproles will line up offset to the right of Adam Morse. The Lamar transfer throws it out in the flat. Sproles makes the catch at the 20 outside the numbers to the 30 and is hit hard and knocked out of bounds on the final play of the first quarter by KJ Price Jr. So it'll be first down for Henderson State when we start the second quarter. Reddies and Bison locked in a low-scoring game early at 7-6 Oklahoma Baptist on the OBU Football Radio Network.
Noble McIntyre Law. We have over 100 years of combined litigation experience fighting for Oklahomans injured by medical malpractice and medical devices. These injuries are caused by medical products including defective hip implants, hernia mesh and breast implants, and IVC filters, as well as drugs such as valsartan, Xarelto, and Xeljanz. If you have been injured and want to learn more about your rights, call us right now. The consultation is free. We love what we do, and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
Totally free. Totally.
Final play of the first quarter is a 12-yard reception by Deuce Sproles to the 37-yard line. So Henderson State now in the second will have that wind, which is not as much of a factor as we see it oftentimes this year in Shawnee, but still somewhat of a factor to their back here for the next 15 minutes. Adam Morse, 7 of 13 passing in the first quarter, 112 yards. He's been sacked one time, league-leading 24th sack of the year by the Bison. Morse drops to start quarter number 2, throws it out left. Ball caught by Benning, turns inside at the 40 and gets to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6, and right now it's a pretty simple passing attack being put together by the offensive coordinator. That is Hayden Hawk.
Yeah, well, Hayden Hawk is doing a good job by sending a deep receiver and then one underneath, kind of similar to what Oklahoma Baptist runs a lot.
14:28 to play here in the first half. Senior Day, the home finale for 2021 here on Bison Hill. Pretty good crowd here on hand for arguably the biggest game in program history. Inside handoff to Sproles, straight ahead, dances and leaps over a defender at the 50. And then he is down at the 44-yard line of OBU. Deuce Sproles, who at times this year has given way to the true freshman Frederick O'Donnell, who's a better north-south runner, we're told. Looks like a man possessed on that carry and gallop for first down yardage.
That was an outstanding play by Deuce Sproles because he got extra 6 yards when he hurdled 2 Oklahoma Baptist defenders.
Deuce Sproles with a 13-yard gain. That is his longest run here as we have played 16 minutes of this first half. Tied in, lined upright. The single setback is Frederick O'Donnell, or check that, that's Sproles again. Sproles behind left guard makes a cut, stretches down to the 38. Going to be about 3 or 4 yards short of the first down, so it's second down for the Reddies.
Nice open field tackle by KJ Price Jr. Henderson State left tackle Will Hawkins did a good job getting the seal on the inside to get that outside running lane.
Gain goes for the 44 to the 38 of Oklahoma Baptist. 4 possessions, 3 of them now for Henderson State, have been into OBU's end of the field. Their deepest penetration was the 25 before they turned it over on downs, and then, of course, they had that 11-play scoring drive. Sproles running right, leaping over another defender, gets to the 31-yard line, a gain of 7 on 2nd and 4. So another first down as Henderson's offense has been their best defense, really, guys. They have controlled offensively time of possession.
They've got really good blocking scheme. Pitch right that time. You have Malik Allen coming from the backside getting hit with a good block. He had a chance to get the running back in the backfield, but a great pickup block.
Among time of possession leaders in the conference, Henderson State is in the top half of the Great American Conference in that category. Tied in is Aiden Shirley. He lines up tight end right. Morse, a short drop, throws a quick slant. Elliott is wrapped up as he made the catch at the 23, and he will go no further. And good job of keeping Elliott Curry in front of him by the Bison defense.
Well, am I on?
Now I'm on. Thank you. They started with a 157-72 edge in total offense, even though OBU had the lead at the end of the quarter. And on this drive, they've now gone over 200 yards of total offense already.
Henderson State total offense this year, first in the conference at 469 yards per ball game. Second and 1 of the 22. So many options. Morse stands tall, running out of time, and now he'll just throw it out of bounds across the way, looking for Xavier Malone. Good downfield coverage by the secondary because Adam Morse had quite a bit of time in a clean pocket.
He had more than quite a bit of time. He had an abundant amount of time. Would you like that adjective, an abundant amount?
Third and a yard, Henderson State. 11:54 to play here in the first half. The clock has stopped with the incompleted pass. Adam Morse is now 9 of 15 passing for 129 yards. Third and a yard. Henderson State just outside the red zone at the OBU 22. Tied in right, 2 receivers that way, and a single receiver left. They throw a little screen pass for Malone, and a good play defensively. How about Felipe Alvear coming up from the secondary and took the legs out of Xavier Malone for a loss of 3.
I cannot believe it. I thought that Alvear overran the play. His body's past Malone. He reaches back with his left arm and clips ends Malone.
They give him a loss of 2 to the 24, so it's 4th down and 3. Scott Maxfield, who is the second all-time winningest coach in Henderson State program history, has gone for it once on 4th down. He's going to try again. He needs to get to the 21-yard line or just inside, and OBU's into the field. Shirley is tied in right, and now Henderson State wants to talk about it. Time out of the field, second quarter, brought to you by the OBU College of Graduate and Professional Studies. This is Bison Football on the OBU Radio Network.
You can keep them on.
Offense stays out of the field. 4th down and 3 at the 24. The handoff goes to Sproles. They had him hemmed in, but he is able to make a left or right cut and get to the 20. So he picks up 4 on 4th and 3 and a fresh set of downs at the red zone now for Henderson State.
Trajan Lands got in the backfield, had the back, but just a little extra power to get across the line for Henderson.
11 minutes in counting to play in the first half. Todd Miller, John Brooks, Scott Waters, John Zonflo, the network crew on this Saturday afternoon. Senior day on beautiful Bison Hill in Shawnee. First down and 10 for Henderson State. Time of possession sometimes is a misleading stat. It has not been to this one today. 7-6 Bison, but Henderson on the move. Morse hands it off, sweeping left. Sproles hit and drop. Josh Arnold at the 41-yard line, and he immediately gets up, shakes his finger, and says, "Oh, no, you don't, not today."
Yeah, Robert Lolafia would have been over there as well, except for he had a nice big bear hug by one of the offensive Henderson State.
Noah Velliser has checked into the lineup on the near side, wearing number 33 in the green and white jerseys. It is 2nd down and 10 for Henderson State at the OBU 20-yard line. Morse waiting to snap, gets it from Dobbs, looking right, looking left, running out of time, and OBU swallows him under again. Robert Lolafia having a monster game here in the first half, gets the 2nd sack of the day for the Bison, back outside the 20 at the 22.
Nice move by Lolafia. He runs upfield, doesn't get held this time, and he sees Morse rolling out to the left. He cuts back toward the west sideline and reaches out one-handed and brings him down.
Robert Lolafia now with his 4th 4.5 sacks on the season. You're right. He didn't get held that time.
Actually, 5.5 because he had one earlier.
You're right. 3rd down and 12, Henderson State. OBU leading 7-6 with under 10 minutes to go here in the first half in Shawnee. And before they get the snap, we get a stoppage of play. And let's see what Dwayne Barbie says. It's a delay of game against Henderson State.
You know, you made your comment earlier about the possession, and let's put it in a little bit more of a figure that people can understand. This drive is right now going to go to the 6-minute mark. We'll do it after they get the play. I'll give you some math.
13th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 17 at the 27-yard line of OBU. They had managed to get to the 20 of the Bison. Morse drops outside the 35, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. On a slant. And with that wind to his back, there's an example right there, Brooksy, where Adam Morse just had a little too much mustard on that ball.
16 minutes and 5 seconds with the football for Henderson. 2 ticks under 5 minutes for the Bison. And amazingly, that's 3 drives. That's 2 drives, short drives, and then that touchdown drive that took only 90 seconds.
Incidentally, that flag a moment ago for a delay of game, the first penalty today against Henderson State. Only 2 penalties, one against each side midway through the second quarter. 4th and 17. Here comes the rush. OBU hits him as he throws it. It's up for grabs, and it is tipped and nearly intercepted by OBU. But I'm going to tell you something. It's better they did not catch the football because you're gaining almost 10 yards in field position as OBU now will take over at the 27.
What a play by Malik Allen. He hooks around the right side of the tight end, gets the right side of Morse as he throws, and that ball goes straight up in the air.
Morse is going to have a sore bus ride going back to Arkadelphia. He's been sacked twice, but he has been under heavy pressure a lot. And he has taken several levels of punishment as well in this one. Timeout on the field, so we'll pause with 8:46 to play. First quarter, OBU takes over, leading 7-6. Back after these local messages on the Bison
Network. Not often we get to that local spot, and we're at 8 minutes to play. Oh, okay. That wasn't network, yeah. Sorry. Thank you, John.
This is why time of possession, unless you're the Harding Bisons, is really kind of a overused statistic in football. A 15-play drive that took well over 7 minutes comes up empty, and OBU preserves a 1-point lead at the 28-yard line. Incidentally, we owe you a local break. We'll have it at the next stoppage of play. Preston Hare out there for one of the few times today. Dances, throws left. Cornell makes the catch. Behind the line of scrimmage, Josh is struggling to get back. And they finally blow the play dead. They will give him forward progress to the 28-yard line.
All right, he's wrapped up by 2 guys. A third tackler comes around the little scrum right there, literally moves his arm back, clear behind him, and swings just like a knockout punch, tried to knock the ball out. Cornell able to keep it in his grasp.
No gain on Josh's third catch of the day, ticking towards 8 minutes to play before halftime. Bison lead by a point. Here now checks out of the play as Henderson State nearly jumped. 2nd and 10 Bison at the 28-yard line. Tyler Stever is the lone setback. He moves from the right to left of his quarterback. Now Hare gives it to Tyler, running left, is hit on the hip, stumbles and manages to stretch out to the 30-yard line, just a gain of 2. So here we go, another 3rd and long situation for OBU.
And into the wind, Preston's going to have to hit Keelan Harris one of these times. He was open 2 plays ago when he threw it to Cornell on that short.
Keelan Harris, incidentally, last week eclipsed Josh Cornell's 2019 single-season receiving record with his 75th catch. Doesn't have one today. Hare guns over the middle. He's got Cornell with the 45 for a first down. And down goes Josh Cornell into the waning arms of Demarion Parham.
I love the way they have Cornell and Harris on the same side of the field. Harris does a flag route. 2 defenders go with him, leaves Josh Cornell wide open up the left hash.
15 yards on Cornell's second catch on this drive. Preston Hare with that completion is now 5 of 8 passing, and he is over 50 yards. They motion a man. Now it's a jet sweep. They'll toss it to the near side. That's Michael Marshall, and he is in trouble and will lose. Back inside the 45-yard line of the 43. And a really good play turned in by Deldrick Shields, who is the reigning Great American Conference Defensive Player of the Week, the first defender this year in the league to be so honored twice.
Good defense sideline to sideline for Henderson, but on that jet sweep, Mike Marshall's got to get his momentum going. He was like looking, just picking away through there. By that time, it was too late. The pursuit was there.
6:16 in county to play before halftime. 2nd down and 12. Preston Hare hands it off to Stever with some running room. Dragging defenders with him. A first down carry for Tyler. Holy Toledo, as he's down to the 42-yard line of the Reddies. And that was all 7 doing it himself.
Well, it was Holy Toledo, because I didn't think there was any chance for a first down. About 5 yards to go. Tyler Stever, legs down, covering that football, pushing 3 Reddies back for 6 more yards.
Tyler Stever with his best run of the afternoon, 15 yards and a first down into Henderson's into the field. Motion man, Harris to the near side. The give straight ahead to Stever, trying to find some daylight. Cannot. He'll lose a yard. Back to the 43. Henderson State with good pursuit to the football, and again it was Deldrick Shields making the stop.
That's the 3rd or 4th time this afternoon that the handoff has come deep in the backfield. 2 steps by Tyler Stever, and you think that we're playing a statue game because he just stands there and waits, tries to find something. He's got tremendous patience. Didn't get anything that time, but he has before.
5:15 in county to play first half. 2nd down and 11. Hare drops to his own 49. Pocket holes. Now he's being moved right, and Hare is going to have to keep it. Spins away from a defender, and Preston gets to the 40-yard line. He picks up 3, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. And that was a run of about 11 or 12 yards, and he did a nice spin move after initial contact.
The ballet dancing school here at OBU, the instructor would have loved that, a little pirouette that got him those 3 yards.
They spotted at the 39-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 7 for OBU. 5:04 to play. Clock has stopped here in the second quarter. Empty backfield, 3-2. Set, Hare to throw. Clean pocket, throws out right ball. The cut, Harris at the 30, and he spins to the 26-yard line. That's the first reception for Keelan Harris today, and extending his single-season career receiving total now to a number of 76.
Hey, you like to see the catch. When you're taking that double and triple coverage, you're selling yourself for the team. That time he was able to get the ball in his hand.
1st and 10 at the 27 for OBU. A good drive. Started back at their own 28. They took over on down. Stever makes a right to left cut. Almost broken. He's to the 20. Inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. He needed 1 more inch, Swan Dog of daylight, to bounce out left and take it to the pylon.
You said that right to left cut. You could see the angle right that he took.
Quick snap. Hare throws it out left. Cornell is buried for a loss back at the 18-yard line. Good play turned in by Bryson Gibson. And a flag is down on the play. Here is Barbie, the referee. And it is illegal substitution against Henderson State.
Wow.
So a free play for the Bison and what would have been another loss on first down.
And the official who saw that is the guy that's going to call it, because that was the field judge, Chuck Scott.
So the ball goes to the 11-yard line. It's 1st down and 5. Bison in the red zone this season have been very, very good. In fact, they're one of the nation's best in converting red zone efficiency at 95%, 3rd of the conference. Handoff, it's a keeper, Preston Hare, who's down to the 9, running behind Caleb Butler, the Muskogee native, a sophomore. So a gain of 2.
Hey, old buddy, Tyler got you a little good on that one.
He did.
Thought it was the handoff, but he also got a defender. So it worked. Would you give it up here if you fall for it if they keep making that play work?
Sure, I would.
Okay,
all day
You're
long.
a team player.
2nd down and 3, Bison at the 9-yard line of Henderson State. This time it is Stever, left guard. Stever is swallowed under as he'll get another yard to the 8, bringing up 3rd down and 2. Next snap likely will come with less than 3 minutes to play in the first half.
And a beautiful 1-point lead. That extra point off the Henderson score, that it actually was just blown into the upper left right, looking like a nice little big point that's out on their side of the scoreboard right now.
Devin Mack and Jackson Landsteiner have come in on this short yardage situation up front. 3rd and 2 at the 8-yard line. 12th play of the Oklahoma Baptist drive, and before they snap it, we get a timeout on the field, and it will be charged to OBU. 2:49 to play here in the first half. OBU threatening to extend a 1-point lead at 7-6 Bison. Back after these local messages on the Bison Network.
Timeout was Henderson.
Okay.
Actually, a lineman jumped up.
Hey, is there a way we can get some shield from that sun?
Put your mic.
They cut our timeout short. All you missed was a false start against OBU as they did a sweep with tight end left Sam Sharp, but they had 2 guys in motion. So now the line of scrimmage is back to the 13, and it is 3rd down and 7. Big play of this ball game. Bison leading by a missed extra point, 7-6. Stever at a pistol behind Preston Hare. Ball in the left hash. Hare drops to the 20, throws over the middle. He's got Phipps, touchdown, Oklahoma Baptist.
I mean, an alley-oop. He sees 2 defenders. He sees the size. He literally, you talked about it earlier, Scotty, he rainbows that one into the end zone.
And Braden Phipps is the shortest receiver Oklahoma Baptist has. And a tied leap by Reddy, just fingertip missed it. Pulls in by the chest by Phipps.
Second touchdown reception for Braden Phipps, who really came up big last week with 2 key receptions on touchdown drives. Garcia's extra point is up, and he is now 2 for 2. And OBU has an 8-point lead over the 16th ranked team in Division II football. 14-6 Bison here on sunny Bison Hill in Shawnee. OBU football brought to you by the banking team you can count on, the First National Bank and Trust Company. Talk to us first. Also by SSM Health, St. Anthony Hospital, Shawnee. They have a game plan. It's simple to keep you healthy. Visit ssmhealth.com. And shopobubison.com is your home for the very best and officially licensed Bison apparel from brands like Adidas, Callaway Golf, Columbia, and Under Armour. Visit shopobubison.com today and take advantage of fast shipping and industry-leading customer service. Shopobubison.com, the official online store of OBU Athletics.
Hey, KJ.
We're awaiting the kickoff from Gigi. This will be into the wind. Bison have scored 2 straight touchdowns after trailing 6-0 to start the ball game. Garcia has placed the ball on the tee at the 35-yard line. And he approaches and toes it, sends it to the near side. It's a really short kick. Return for the 27 to the 30, and bang, he bounces off contact. Still going, finally spun down at the 31-yard line as Cameron Thomas was the return man for Henderson State. So first down and 10. Henderson State has dominated this game from a time of possession standpoint. But OBU has 2 touchdown passes from the best to ever do it in program history, Preston Hare, to 2 different receivers. He has utilized 21 different receivers amongst his now 100-plus career touchdown passes. Morris to throw. Pocket is holding. Now it collapses, and he dives down just as he was about to be hit by Xavier Lott. He'll lose to the 29-yard line.
You know, we talked about the career touchdown number for Preston and how he had moved, what was it, two games ago into the top 3 all-time in the conference. He's got to be moving up the ladder again.
Second down and 12. He has an outside chance to get to second, no higher than that. Quick throw out left. Lodry has his first catch of the afternoon at the 35, and he's twisted down at the 33-yard or 38-yard line by Velliser. So third down and 3. Big play in this ball game with 1:40 to play here in the third quarter. Bison trying for what would be just their first or second 3-and-out series defensively. Slant over the middle, low throw, caught though by Elliott Curry at the 45-yard line. That was a good throw by Morse and a better catch by Curry. Last we saw Curry, I'll finish it after this play. Morse to throw, airs it out deep right for Curry, and it's incomplete. They have him bracketed every time Curry is involved in the passing game. Spencer was there along with Tyler King. Last we saw Elliott Curry, he had a breakout game here against Oklahoma Baptist as he went for 156 yards on this field back in 2019. Second and 10 at the 45. Bison have never beaten Henderson State in 5 tries. The 3 games, though, here in Shawnee have been decided by a net of 16 points. Tight end moves from left to right. Morris to throw. Drops all the way back. Throwing left. Passes caught at the 45-yard line of OBU. And I mean, he went climbing the ladder. That is Elliott Curry, who made the catch right in front of Matthew Norman.
Well, he climbed the ladder, and he got the ball. Now, he did not come down with a foot, but he was in bounds when he made the catch, and then he was pushed out of bounds with the tackle.
70 seconds to play here in the first half. 14-6, Oklahoma Baptist trying to beat their first ever nationally ranked opponent. It's been somewhat of a season of firsts thus far for this veteran ball club. At the 45, Morse to throw. Drops all the way to his 47. Throws out right. Malone with the catch at the 40. Breaking tackles. Running laterally. Gets to the end. And is out of bounds into the ready sideline at the 35. 8 of 10.
And with the wind to their back, they've got 62 seconds to go now. They have burned 2 of their 3 timeouts, so they have only 1 timeout left.
The thing you have to do is you have to keep them in bounds. Don't let them get to the boundary. That's saving timeouts. We saw that in that 99-yard drive by Southeastern that forced overtime here a couple of weeks ago. Second and 10 at the 35-yard line. Morris to throw, throwing right, and the ball is dropped. Chase Lodry.
There's a perfect example. He had the ball he wanted to run before he got the ball completely in his possession. You could see even the tuck of the head right there as he started to bring it in. I'm going someplace with it, but it's laying on the ground. Big break right there because he was going to get a first down.
Lodry had 2 catches for 16 yards against Southern Nazarene, 18 receptions, 184 for the year, coming in 2 touchdowns. He is a career 1,300-yard receiver and 12 touchdowns, so he's been a little bit of a mystery as to where he has gone here in 2021. Second and 10 of the 35, Morris to throw, dumps it over the middle in a drag pattern. It's caught and dropped down immediately. Brandon Spencer with a terrific tackle in the middle of the field on Elliott Curry. play. And now Scott Maxfield will have to burn his final timeout with 44 seconds to play here in the first half. And that's what you want to do right there, Brooksy. Let them work the middle of the field. Don't give them the boundaries.
Exactly. 44 seconds to play, 14-6. Trailed 6-0 after the second possession for the Reddies in the first half. The score was followed up by an extra point attempt that bounded off of the of the left upright, and the Bison have been the only scorers since then with 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and a 14-6 lead. On our halftime show, we'll take a look around the conference also and give you an update. And with this 2 o'clock start today, there are some games that are well ahead, probably now early in the second half of the play.
At last check, Southeastern was leading 7-0 at nationally ranked Ouachita. They are in the third quarter late in Bethany. Southern Nazarene hosts the Bison next week. They are in a tango with Southern Arkansas, the Mule Riders 17-10. Those were the 1 o'clock games. Everything, including this one, started at 2 o'clock in the conference. 3rd down and 8 at the 33-yard line. Henderson State in the road white and crimson uniforms led 6-0. OBU leads at 14-6. They've scored on their last 2 drives, have the Bison. Morse with Sproles in the backfield, a 2-by-2 set. Adam drops under pressure, throws right, and the ball is caught by the tight end Benning. But a good tackle by the hips drags him down at the 29-yard line. That was Tyler King in coverage and on the stop. So it's going to bring up 4th down and about 3.5 for Henderson State.
Huge play right here defensively.
4th and 4 officially. Empty backfield. Morse throws it over the middle, and it's caught Malone. First down at the 25. Turns right inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Clock will stop now for the change to move. Now they're going to spike it as it started again, and that will run it down to 9 seconds. So 9 ticks left. You're trying to get through this less than 10-second span and get an 8-point lead to the dressing room.
I'll tell you what. Hold tight here. Hold the line. If you give up a field goal with a wind to your back, so be it. You know they're going to take one shot to the end zone here. Do not give up a touchdown. Allow Henderson State with a 2-point conversion to get even at halftime. OBU will get the football to start the second half after Henderson won and took the football to start the ball game. And now, official stoppage of play. This game is, believe it or not, only about 65 minutes old.
It has swept, hasn't it?
It has. In fact,
I thought we'd be here forever.
For dinner.
I did too. I thought we'd be here forever, score after score, and then more timeouts and everything. I thought we would be here a long time. So far, it has been, like you said, a rapid first half of play. We do have a discussion here, and
Henderson State is starting to retreat. It's a delay of game against the Reddies. It's their 3rd penalty. So now it becomes 1st and 15, and the ball is outside the red zone at the 23-yard line. With 9 seconds to go here in the first half. Adam Morse, the senior from Groves, Texas, a transfer from Lamar. In 2016, threw for 4 touchdowns and 653 yards for the Cardinals. He'll take one crack to the end zone. He drops to the 31, is hit, throws it up, and the pass is incomplete. Robert Lolafia again was in there, and also helping to pressure Morse was Torian Smith.
Well, the little flip-off there to get the ball free from your hands by Morse kept Lolafia from having an amazing 3-sack first half.
I'm going to tell you, we're going to hear from Brandon Morris at halftime with one dog in the field. He has to be thrilled with the way his defense has played and the pressure that they've been able to get on Adam Morse here in the first half. And it started with big number 95, Robert Lolafia. I told you this week I heard that Tyler was not going to play, Tyler Stever, next year. A week ago, Lolafia was my pregame guest for the Southern Arkansas game, and he did tell me that, hey, I'm coming back for one more year.
Good for him. That's good. He's had a adventurous life, has he not?
He has.
Went to Oklahoma State, then was on a mission. Am I right?
You're right. I bet Scott Wandog down on the field can give us a little bit more light on Lolafia. Hello, Scott. It's not working. So I guess you better get that fixed before halftime. Henderson State is going to attempt a 40-yard field goal from the right hash with the wind to their back. It is David Heaton, transfer from Louisiana Monroe. Snap is back, ball is down, plenty of leg from Heaton, and it is good from 40 yards on the final play of the first half. Well, you bowed your deck. You didn't give up 7. You still have the lead going to the halftime locker room. With the score, Oklahoma Baptist 14 and Henderson State 9. Scott is down there on the field. He is looking for Greg Gothard, who's pretty well for a guy with a broken toe who does one dog. And he's instead going to have defensive coordinator Brandon Morris. Go, Scott. Problems with the sideline mic. Again, we'll get those corrected at halftime. I would love to have heard what Brandon Morris had to say about his defense here in the first half. At halftime, your score, Oklahoma Baptist 14, 16th ranked Henderson State 9. We'll have more, including the halftime show brought to you by McIntyre Law, coming up in a moment on the Bison Radio Network.
He did the pregame, but it's fine. I don't know what happened.
The mic is working now.
It's working. I would not mind getting Brandon again if we can to start the second half.
Say that again?
I'd like to get Brandon again to start the second half.
Okay.
Did you hear from him? Did he talk?
To try to get Brandon Morris again for a halftime interview when he comes out to start the second half. He has to be very, very pleased with the way his defense has played here in the first half. They have defended 48 plays, given up 249 yards. Sometimes yards can be misleading. Only 9 points and 1 touchdown on the board of the first half for the high-flying Henderson State-ready offense. The scoring of the first half, Malone on a 14-yard run, capped an 11-play, 80-yard drive. The kick failed by David Heaton. It was 6-0. OBU went 3 and out. Their next possession is to Henderson State. Bison, with 92 seconds to play in the first quarter, embarked on their first scoring drive of the afternoon. They didn't need much, only 5 plays to go 53 yards. The final 34, Preston Hare to Josh Cornell. Garcia's extra point put OBU in front, 7-6. Henderson State came back and took over 7 minutes of the second quarter clock before turning the ball over on down at the Bison 27. OBU then started from there and commenced on a long drive that was over 6 minutes in duration. It was capped by Preston Hare on a second down and 15 play, a pass over the middle to Braden Phipps. Second time those two have hooked up this year. Gigi's extra point made it 14-6, and then Henderson State uses the final 2:37 of the first half clock as they started at their own 31, picked up a first down at the 45, at the OBU 45, the Bison 35, and the Bison 23. They were hoping to get a shot into the end zone, but a delay of game moved the football back to the 23. And on the final play of the first half, Heaton knocked through the three-point try, and that's where we are at halftime, 14-9. Preston Hare now has extended another run of 25 straight games with a touchdown pass and 40 of his 43 career starts as the Bison signal caller. He also has 2 touchdown passes in the first half. He has thrown multiple touchdowns now in 32 of the 40 games with at least one score and 8 of his 10 starts here in 2021. At halftime, 14-9, Oklahoma Baptist. A reminder, OBU will get the football to start the third quarter here on Senior Day at Crane Family Stadium in the Herd Athletic Complex. When we return, Brooksy will break down the first half numbers as the McIntyre Law halftime review continues in a moment. This is Bison Football on the OBU Radio Network.
Be back here for the start of play in the second half. We did have some technical problems. We have them solved, and we'll get Scott down on the field, hopefully, with both the offensive and defensive coordinators. Let's look at a first half that right now leaves this crowd here on Bison Hill hoping that maybe this will be the day that everybody came into that had green on and were a Bison fan, knowing that this team was going to play the biggest game in its history since coming in to Division II football. Big, why? Because if they win here, first of all, they would prevent Henderson State from sharing the title. They would get a key victory that would put them in a position that when postseason play comes around and a couple of Division II bowls, that they would have an excellent chance at going to a postseason game. Nobody looking ahead. There's still a half to go here, and there's a full game at SNU next week. But to get to that spot, you've got to get through this game, and they will start with the football and a 14-9 lead when the second half gets underway. Let's look at what did take place statistically in the first half with time of possession, and it actually got narrowed down some. There was a time when there was 16 minutes of possession for Henderson State and only 5 minutes for OBU. Now, it did close in a little bit. Henderson State had the football for 2 ticks under 19 minutes, and OBU had it for 11 minutes, and in those 11 minutes managed to get 2 touchdowns and a 5-point lead. They did it with 68 yards on the ground on 15 rushes, and Preston Hare throwing for 144 yards through the air. Preston throwing for 76 yards through the air. Total offense is 144. So this is a team that has been outgained 249 to 144, but on the scoreboard they've got a 5-point lead at the intermission. On the other side, Henderson State 18 rushes for 69 yards, 180 yards through the air. So total offense 249 yards. Again, time of possession 19 minutes for Henderson State and 11 for OBU. Let's look at things individually. Over on the Henderson State side, Deuce Sproles had been a very, very tough runner. He's averaged 5.5 yards a carry. He's got 11 carries for a net of 60 yards. Xavier Malone 1 carry for 14. But it's been Sproles on the ground for Henderson State, and obviously through the air, quarterback Adam Morris, who has been sacked a couple of times. In fact, 3 times. He's been sacked 3 times, and really was almost sacked on the next to last final play of the half when he just shoveled the ball out of his hands as Lola Fivi had him almost down again. So anyway, Morris, 17 of 29. He has 180 yards. His longest throw is 29. Flip it over to the OBU side. Tyler Stever, averaging 4.7 yards, 4.7 yards a carry, has carried 10 times for 47 yards. Preston Hare has carried 5 times for 21. And Preston is 80% through the air, hasn't thrown as much as, in fact, we'll just get Todd to talk about this when he comes back to start the second half of play, because I think we'd have to go back a long way, and maybe we couldn't go back a long way because we might never find it, that at halftime Preston Hare, in a starting role, has thrown the football only 10 times. He's got 80% completion, obviously, as he's 8 of 10 for 76 yards, and even more important, 2 of those 8 catches have been for a pair of touchdowns, his longest throw 34. Josh Cornell has been targeted 4 times, has caught 3 for 50 yards. His longest was the touchdown pass. The other throw came on the only reception to tiny little Braden Phipps there late in the first half of play, that rainbow pass that fluttered in for a 13-yard touchdown score. On the other side, receiving for Henderson State, Leila Curry with 12 targets. He's caught it 6 times for 47 yards. Xavier Malone has 5 catches. He's their leading receiver with 64, but it's been moved around some. Mike Benning with 49 yards, and now the backfield, Deuce Sproles with 12. In the punting department, Ethan McCanson has kicked it twice, averaged 38.5 yards. His longest was 59. That will make you do the math. He had that one shanked punt of 17 yards. Our halftime show continues in a moment from Bison Hill. On Senior Day, lots of people, not only the football players, but the cheer squad, the band members, the training and managing team for the students, all of them being honored, those who are seniors today here on Senior Day. At halftime, it's 14-9, OBU leading Henderson State on the OBU Radio Network. (13-9) lead over nationally ranked Henderson State. Henderson State came in number 16 in the AFCA Top 25 poll in Division II football. The Bison have a 5-point lead. They'll get the ball to start the third quarter of play. We'll talk about a shake-up day if OBU takes care of business in the second half, protects this lead, and gets out of here with their first win ever against Henderson State in program history. Based on other things that are happening around the conference, this standings will look totally different than anybody that's followed this conference in a long time would have thought when the afternoon began. When it began, Harding, Henderson State, and longtime defending champion many-time defending champion Washita were all sitting at 8-1, deadlocked for the top spot. Southeastern was a game behind at 7-2, and then Oklahoma Baptist was in fifth at 6-3. So listen to what's happened, because it is stunning. Southeastern on the road has a 35-7 lead over Washita Baptist early in the fourth quarter. You've just about got to figure that one is going in the win column for Southeastern. That would make them 8-2. That would drop Washita to 8-2. If the Bison take care of Henderson State in the second half and go on to win this game today, that would drop Henderson State to 8-2, and lo and behold, there sits Harding, looking like they're going to be the great American champion all by themselves. They're at home and they are blowing out Southwestern Oklahoma 41-0, and that's late in the first half of play. So you're going to mark a win off for Harding and make them 9-1. Washita's going to be down to 8-2. Southeastern moves up to 8-2, and now Henderson State trying to stay even with Harding if they come back in this one, and the OBU obviously trying to improve that record to 7-3 and stay close to these guys. This is a huge day on the scoreboard. Let's get the rest of it for you. Southern Arkansas with a 24-10 lead about 4 minutes into the fourth quarter at Southern Nazarene. Arkansas Tech on the road blowing out Northwestern Oklahoma at the start of the third period. It's nothing but rain clouds in Alva, Oklahoma, and there's not any rain in them either. They're just dark clouds. Arkansas Tech 35, Northwestern nothing. And at the half, East Central on the road with a 21-0 lead over Arkansas Monticello. So if you start looking at this, you have Southern Arkansas with a lead over an Oklahoma opponent. You have Southeastern Oklahoma team obviously drilling Washita. Arkansas Tech taking care of the Oklahoma side against Northwestern, but East Central rallying for 21-0 halftime lead against Monticello. Back and forth. The battle between the Oklahoma schools and the Arkansas schools pretty well even on the scoreboard here in the first half of play. We'll take a timeout here on the OBU Network, our intermission show, with a 14-9 lead on the board for OBU. Back in just a moment after these local messages. State, and a whole lot of that reason is because of the defense, and who better to have beside our buddy downstairs, Scott Wanish, do the honors.
Defensive coordinator Brandon Morris here. Brandon, number 16 in the nation, you hold Henderson State to 9 points. You got to feel good about your defense.
I am. I'm excited about the guys who have had opportunities, capitalizing on those opportunities. We got to make sure we keep a lid on it. They have great athletes. We got to finish. We got to go finish, keep finishing in place.
Yeah, you got 2 more quarters, but doing a great job of containing the quarterback. Not only are you getting good pressure with Lola Thea and some of the linebackers, but keeping him within the pocket because he is a pretty good rushing quarterback.
He is, and he's a big kid. You know, it takes you gang tackling that guy to get him to the ground. Proud of our guys up front, but again, we can't rest. We got to make sure we add and we go finish this game.
Maybe like last week at Southern Arkansas, you need that one big turnover like Jay Jordan reading that quarterback's shoulders, jumping that route for an interception. That might do in the Reddies.
That'd be huge. Again, on the back end, they're going to take their shots because they got really good speed and really good size as well. Got to keep a lid on it. Okay, got to keep a lid on it and make him have to go through his progression and allow those guys up front to get to him.
One more half, buddy.
Yes, sir. Let's go get it.
You got to love it, Scotty. Keep a lid on it. He's made that a pretty darn good phrase, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he knows that there's another half to come. So Coach Brandon Morris does not take anything for granted. He wants to keep, like you said, keep a lid on it, contain the quarterback, more pressure from Lola Thea, the linebackers, to mix up that 3- and 4-man front. They're getting good pressure on a very good Reddies team.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. When we're back, we'll be ready for some action of the second half, and Tom will be back to join you. On the OBU Radio Network, it is 14-9, the Bison leading 18th ranked Henderson State. Second half around the corner. Voice of the Bison will join us once again. Here's Todd Miller.
Oh, Brooksy, don't do that when I just climbed a flight of stairs.
I'm trying to keep you in shape. Understand me? Huh?
I don't go play volleyball 5 days a week. I mean, not volleyball, but racquetball.
Yeah.
How is your racquetball game?
My racquetball game for the competition that I have and the level I play has been, I'd probably say a B- to a B. Yeah, something in that range.
It's better than a C.
Better than a D too.
That's right. Not as good as an A though.
That's what you got to. Well, it's not an A. I can tell you.
Brilliant.
How about an A? How about the guys in green and white get an A and they get started toward that A with possession of the football to start the half?
I cannot say enough about Brandon Morris's defense in the first half. I mean, my oh my. Holding Henderson State, one of the top offenses in Division II football, to 9 points and only 1 touchdown. How about Southeastern at Ouachita?
Well, there's the shocker of shockers. We knew Southeastern was good, and OBU looked like they had that game put away, and they had to go to overtime to get the win. But Southeastern State is good, and none of us know what's happened at Ouachita, but one thing for sure, that has been a savage of a play.
David Heaton boots the second half kickoff through the back of the end zone. OBU will have it first down and 10 at the 25-yard line, leading 14-9. And this is a big possession to start quarter number 3. OBU in the first half trailed 6-0 and then managed touchdowns on their final 2 offensive possessions of quarter number 2. Preston Hare in the first half, 8 of 10, 76 yards. Adam Moore, 17 of 29 for 180 yards. The answer to your question, Brooks, is I don't think Preston has ever had a half in which he threw just 10 passes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Stever and Hare combined 15 carries for 69 yards of offense for OBU. Here we go, ready for the first snap from scrimmage of the second half from the 25. Hare hands it off to Stever behind left guard. Stever manages to get close to the 28-yard line, so it'll bring up second down just on the way here in the third quarter. Scott, I don't know if you heard that score, but Southeastern all over nationally ranked Ouachita in Arkadelphia this afternoon, 35-7.
I did hear you guys talk about that score, but I'm telling you, in this conference, you have to step up to play every week.
Hare on 2nd and 7 from the 28, throws over the middle, and the ball is incomplete. Deldrick Shields darted in front of the intended target, that time Julian Clark, and that's going to bring up third down and long. Bison in the first half were 4 of 6 on third down tries. Henderson State was 4 of 9.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised pass that time by Preston Hare into double coverage. Good job by the receiver.
Now they're going to have to burn a timeout. And it comes with exactly 30 seconds gone here in the third quarter. And in what is developing to be a very tight game, Scott, that's a timeout that you certainly hate to blow this early in the second half.
Yeah, that's a big blow, like you said. But I see Keelan Harris and Braden Phipps arguing with each other who is supposed to be where in that triplets formation right outside the numbers. And that's what had some confusion on the formation. Preston Hare had to take a timeout.
Looking for the perfect gift for the OBU student, alumni, or fan in your life? Visit shopobubison.com, the official online store of Oklahoma Baptist University Athletics, for the best selection of officially licensed gifts, apparel, and more, with proceeds benefiting OBU. 14 and a half minutes to play, third quarter. Todd Miller, Scott Wattis, John Brooks with you here from Crane Family Stadium at the Hurt Athletic Complex. Next week, it's an afternoon start to finish the regular season at rival Southern Nazarene in Bethany. 3-by-1 formation. Now make it 4 receivers to the near side. An empty backfield. Hare to throw. Lobs it downfield, and it's incomplete. There was contact, though, as Demarion Parham pushed Michael Marshall, the intended receiver, in the back.
Pushed Marshall not just once but twice. I think if Marshall might have took a flop or kept going, he was going to get that flag, but the side judges kept it in his pocket.
Well, that was the last thing that Chris Jensen and staff wanted, a 3-and-out and burning a timeout. Net of 3 yards of the first offensive drive of the second half for the Bison. So Ethan McCassin will be on to punt. Ethan in the first half, 2 punts for an average of 38.5. His longest was 59. High snap. Here comes the pressure, and he boots this one away to the near side. Not his best kick. It hits at the 43, bounce straight up in the air, and will be down there at the 44. So that's where Henderson State will take over. First down and 10 on their first possession here of quarter number 3.
Ball's down by Elijah Tomlin. Good job to down that before that bounce backwards to lose any more yardage.
Timeout of the field, third quarter, brought to you by McIntyre Law. Bison lead 14-9 over Henderson State on the OBU Football Radio Network.
Noble McIntyre, McIntyre Law. We have over 100 years of combined litigation experience fighting for Oklahomans injured by medical malpractice and medical devices. These injuries are caused by medical products including defective hip implants, hernia mesh and breast implants, and IVC filters, as well as drugs such as valsartan, Xarelto, and Xeljanz. If you have been injured and want to learn more about your rights, call us right now. The consultation is free. We love what we do, and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
First and 10 from the
14-13 to play, third quarter. Henderson State on offense for the first time since the first half after they forced a 3-and-out to begin the third quarter by the Bison offense. Morris will hand it off. Sproles coming left. That's actually Frederick O'Donnell. He bounces off a defender, and O'Donnell gets to the end and is able to get to the 48-yard line of OBU.
Yeah, O'Donnell bounced off Nick Boone there. Usually Nick Boone's sure-handed. I guess he just couldn't get his arms wrapped around him. A little bounce off the running back.
The folks at Henderson State just rave about Frederick O'Donnell, the 6'2", 200-pound true freshman out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. His first carry of the afternoon. Gains 8, tied in motions, and lines up from right to left. Here comes the blitz again. They hand it straight ahead to McDonald, down with an ankle tackle, 40, 30, and he's finally drugged down by Tyler King on a high tackle. But there you see what the Henderson folks were telling us before the ball game. He is a terrific north-south runner.
Yeah, I thought O'Donnell was doing his Derrick Henry right there. Big, powerful runner. Gombo, nice tackle by Tyler King. He got him high. I didn't think get him down, but he grabbed that jersey and just flung him to the turf.
18 yards of the run, first down to the 29 of Oklahoma Baptist. Tight end is left. Again, it is O'Donnell, and this time OBU clamps down on him at the 25-yard line. And that will be a gain of 4 as we are under 13 minutes now to play in the third quarter, 14-9 OBU.
Good gang tackling by the Bison, led by Nick Boone.
Nick Boone had a terrific first half. Deldrick Shields, the two-time Great American Conference Defensive Player of the Week award winner, 3 tackles to lead Henderson. Nick Boone had 6 stops. Josh Arnold 5 to lead OBU in the first half in tackles. Third down and 6 at the 25. Handoff this time at Sproles. Bounces left. Sproles to the 20. Outside the numbers to the 15 to the 10. And he angles left and is out of bounds at the 8-yard line. It'll bring up first down and goal to go for Henderson State.
Tyler King with another touchdown-saving tackle. He pushed the running back out of bounds. Sproles had nowhere to go up the middle, bounced it out to the left. Nice run.
Henderson State 2 of 3 on red zone opportunities today. They lead Division II football with 48 scores and 53 trips in. Sproles gets the handoff again, right off right guard. He's belted down at the 6. So give him 2, and a good hard tackle that time from Peter Papula.
Yeah, Papula did a good job to grab the ankles to slow up the running back right away to bring him down.
12:01 to play here in the third quarter. Henderson State within striking distance, trying to retake the lead. They led 6-0. OBU then scored 14 unanswered. Sproles is out. O'Donnell is in as the single setback. Frederick gets the handoff, running behind right guard. OBU stiffens again with Papula again sticking his nose up there and making the play.
You don't want that play to be called again, though, because I promise you if that read had been a little bit better by Adam Morris, he would have walked into the end zone if he'd have kept that ball himself.
Bison defense is 7th in the conference. They're allowing their opponents 78% success in the red zone. And they have allowed just 3 red zone passing touchdowns this year. Of the 23 touchdowns, 20 have come on the ground. Third and goal to go. Ready's at the 5-yard line. Elliott Curry motions from left to right. Morris drops, throws over the middle. The ball batted down, incomplete. It hit Josh Arnold right in the hands.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be interception, possession, OBU right there. No field goal try. The one thing about this is it's far enough out. There's no fourth down thought right now on the other sideline from the coaching standpoint. So you're still going to have the lead here unless it would be a fake.
They put it down to the 12, so it's a short 22-yard field goal attempt for Heaton. Good snap, ball down. Heaton's kick is on the way, and it is good. So it's a 2-point game. 4 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Your new score, the Bison 14, Henderson State 12. We'll step aside for these messages from Noble McIntyre on the McIntyre Law Radio Network.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions, but with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Also by Noble McIntyre. McIntyre Law, when experience matters. OBU alumnus Noble McIntyre and his award-winning team of personal injury attorneys are ready to help. Brooksy, you said it best during the timeout after a 3-and-out offensive start. And the way that Henderson State drive began, holding them to 3 was just about as good as you could have hoped for.
I think you can say there's a 4-leaf clover there, quite frankly.
Well, there was one for Henderson State because Moore should have thrown his 11th interception of the year.
Well, that's right.
He threw it right into the hands of Josh Arnold at the goal line, and Arnold dropped the football. An 8-play drive for Henderson State. Heaton gets a running approach and boots it away. It will go out of bounds
nice break
at the 1-yard line. A terrific break because instead of a touchback at the 25, you now start at the 35-yard line.
That 1 yard was 10 yards. You like that math?
You're good.
I thought you'd like that. What do you think, Scotty? You like that math? You're shaking your head?
That is a very big error by the Reddies.
Yeah,
you
really.
have the wind. I'm telling you, it's a factor. You guys are correct that it's not as strong as it's been the last 2 home games, but it's making a difference. I don't think Henderson attempts the field goal going the other way. They missed an extra point going to the south end zone.
And that is a very key note to file away for the fourth quarter. OBU will have the wind of their back. Now they're going to move the ball to the right hash as both teams were lined up and ready to go. OBU will start at the 35. They begin their first possession of the second half at their own 25 and netted just 3 yards. Keelan Harris, Josh Cordell split wide left. Sam Sharp is the tight end of the near side. They have a tight end left. They fake the handoff. Harris going to keep it to the 40. Out of an ankle tackle. First down, and he angles out of bounds on the near side at the 49-yard line of Henderson State. 14, make that 15 yards and a first down.
You could see it up here. If Harris could just get away from that tackle and kick it outside, he had the easy first down. He slipped the leg tackle, high-stepped out of bounds.
10:44 and counting to play, third quarter. Fresh set it down. Seth Berry, the tight end, motions from right to left of the formation. Here's the handoff straight ahead to Stever, keeping those powerful legs running, and somehow picks up 4 right up the chute to the 45-yard line.
Great job by Tyler Stever, as always, just picking his way through, getting grabbed at the line of scrimmage, stepping left and powering forward for 4 yards.
10:17 to play third quarter, 14-12. Bison leading 16th ranked Henderson State. The Reddies ranked 6th in the region standings as well, so they have a lot on the line. Barry motions and lines up as 2 tight ends left with Sam Sharp. The give goes to the weak side of the formation. That's Tyler Stever. He is tackled at the 40, but a flag has been thrown by Dwayne Barbie, the referee behind the play. We'll have to see what this is.
And that you can probably figure holding on this one.
Both teams among the league's best and fewest penalized teams. OBU is on the cusp of setting a new school record. It's personal foul against Oklahoma Baptist.
Hand to the face.
Yep, that'll get the moans and groans for the good partisan crowd here at Crane Family Stadium and the Hurt Athletic Complex going. So instead of at the 40 in Henderson's into the field, the line of scrimmage is back at the OBU 43. It's going to ring up second down and long. Barry tight end right. They hand it off to Stever, picking his way beyond the 45 and down to the 47-yard line. He'll got 4. It's going to bring up third down and long with 9.5 minutes to play in the third quarter, and OBU leading by 2.
Well, I don't like that call at all. I thought that the Bison might throw like a little out pass to get half of it back for a more manageable third down. Now you're looking at 3rd and 14.
OBU 0 of 1 here in the second half on third down conversions for the afternoon. Now they're 4 of 7. They need to get to the 40-yard line in Henderson State territory. Hare gets the snap, drops out of the gun, throws over the middle. The ball deflected and incomplete. And it was almost picked off by the Henderson State defender. Jake Chapman, who had a pick 6 last week, stepped right in front of Josh Cornell, who was bracketed.
That's a good job by Chapman, because if that ball gets over him, Chapman's the front guy being triple covered on Josh Cornell. He jumps up with that right hand to bat the ball away.
Only one opponent this year, Southern Arkansas, has thrown for more than 300 yards against Henderson State's defense. And that came less than a month ago in a game that Southern Arkansas led 28-0 before Henderson State made a furious second-half rally to beat the Mule Riders. Here is Ethan McCassin punting into the wind, standing back at his own 32-yard line. Peyton Russell, the sophomore from Collinsville, snaps it back. Good end-over-end kick, and Turner is going to wave for a fair catch and make the catch at the 19-yard line.
Turner could have returned that. That was a very low kick into the wind, had about 4.5 yards to before the defenders got to him.
34 yards. 38 yards on the punt, down to the 19. Henderson State will have it there with 9:07 to play here in the third quarter. Reddies with the only points since halftime. A 22-yard David Heaton field goal are within 2, 14-12. They've never led since that 6-0 lead after OBU then went on a pair of unanswered scoring drives. Single setback. Tight end left. OBU showing a little pressure. Now they play him straight up. They fake the handoff, throw the slant over the middle, and the ball is caught by Elliott Curry. And Curry, who is less than 100% dragging defenders with him, that's actually Malone and not Curry, gets all the way to the 43 for a gain of 24.
That had to be a perfect throw. It was, because both defenders were in front and back of Malone. Perfect throw.
OBU looked a little confused defensively. They snap it quickly, and they give it to Sproles, who goes right into the line of scrimmage, and he will get a yard to the 46. Going to bring up second down and long. Already less than 8.5 minutes to play in the third quarter, 14-12 Bison.
Yeah, Adam Morris has been doing a great job on those slants, finding the passing lanes between the linemen and hitting the wide receivers in stride.
Officially a run of 3 to the 46 of Henderson State, brings up second down and 7. Morse has a pair of receivers to the near side. They'll motion the man. That is Malone. They give it straight ahead to Sproles, and he had his legs taken out from underneath him. That is a good defensive play, Juan Dog, at the 47, because when Sproles got the handoff, it looked like there was a little bit of a seam.
I think that was Peter Papula again at the bottom of the pile. He's limping a little bit getting up, and here comes Lolafia to give Papula a rest.
Elliott Curry is banged up as well, but he is fighting through it here this afternoon, having another good game for Henderson State. Big play here, 3rd and 8. Reddies at the 47-yard line of their own end of the field with 7:41 to play in the third quarter. Empty backfield. Morse drops to the 40, throws it over the middle, and it's caught and dropped by Xavier Malone. Alvear also helped him drop the ball as he had a hand in there, but the sure-handed Xavier Malone out of Louisiana drops it, and we'll see a punt now for Henderson State.
You know, it's not overwhelming momentum either way right now, but it was building, because if they get that first down and they keep things going again, you know, it's just it's starting to just switch a little bit. That's a nice stop right there.
Adam Morris is 18 of 31 passing, 205. He's been sacked 3 times today by the conference leading defensive team in terms of sacks. Good punt by Heaton as he angles it to the far side. It will go out of bounds, and OBU is going to get good starting field position. They're going to spot the ball at the 20-yard line. Try to coffin corner kick, and he just did not get much of it. And there was a little bit of some extracurricular activity going at the end of that 33-yard punt. There is a flag down as well. Scott, what did you see?
I saw a Reddy laying on his back, and I don't know if he tried to trip a Bison or something, and a Bison kicked back. It's there was at least 10 players around there from both teams.
Looks like they're going to assess the penalty against OBU. Well, not necessarily. The linesman has the ball in his hands. OBU looked like they were starting to retreat, but 5 of the 7 officials are still visiting. We'll get the signal here momentarily.
Going against the Maybe it's going against nobody.
They're going to pick the flag
There it
up.
is. What did I tell you? Going against nobody. Do you like that prediction?
Yeah, I like it better than you being wrong and it being against OBU.
You know, I think that's good officiating because what I saw was a Reddy just laying on his back and like faking an injury, and he hopped right up.
I think this crew's done a really good job today officiating this ball game. 1st and 10, Oklahoma Baptist at the 20-yard line. Hare hands it off to Stever. Behind left guard, he's going to get a couple to the 27-yard line. Bison being very, very conservative, nursing a 2-point advantage, Scott, with a win of their back here in the third quarter.
And
extremely conservative.
They're running the ball every time on first down. Every now and then they've got to keep that defense honest. You've got the best quarterback in the league, and you've got some outstanding wide receivers. They're pulling up playing the run. Now they're going to play the pass on 2nd and long.
14th carry of the afternoon for Tyler Stever. He stands 6 yards deep in a pistol formation with Preston Hare. From the 22, they throw it out right to beat the rush. Stever makes a cut at the 20 and stretches to the 23, gaining 1. And it is going to be 3rd down and 7. And that was a decent gain considering that Preston Hare was about to be buried.
Well, it was a design screen dump-off pass, so you let some of those pass rushers come in. But that play was going nowhere. Now you have another 3rd and long, 3rd almost 8.
6:16 to play, third quarter. OBU leading 14-12 over Henderson State, a program they've never beaten in 5 tries. Bison need to get to the 30 to keep the drive alive. Hare drops inside the 15. Looking right, pocket moving that way. They throw over the middle. Ball is caught at the 30 by Stever, dragging defenders with him, and he finally is going to be stopped at the 33-yard line.
Great release by Tyler Stever. He's in the backfield acting like he's pass protecting. Then after a second, he goes straight up the middle of the field, unaccounted for. I'm glad Hare saw him. 3rd and
long, they convert with a 10-yard catch. Now on the delay, they hand it off to Stever, left guard, to the 36, a gain of 3. With 5:45 and counting to play here in the third quarter.
See what the Bison do here on 2nd and long, 2nd and 7.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Hare to throw from the 29, throws near side at Stever again at the 40, ducks down to the 41-yard line. Tackled there by Rendarius Terry, the backup outside linebacker for Henderson State.
Much better position for the Bison when you're 3rd and 3. This way, the Reddies have to respect the run as well as the pass.
Good point, Juan Dog. Daniel Eaton has had to be behind the play, chains quite a bit today on his 2nd and 3rd down play calling. 3rd down and 2 at the 41-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play.
Now.
Better hurry. And Henderson State is confused. OBU still has not snapped the football. Now they finally do. Preston rolling left. Throws over the middle, and it's too high, incomplete, looking for Josh Cordell. They hit him late.
I thought Preston was going to snap the ball. They had 2 players running off the field. He had a free play coming.
Well, he couldn't. Ryder Roberts could not because the umpire was standing over Ryder Roberts.
He was okay.
He said, look, you have to have the league. At first it looked like that, and then I saw the umpire right over Ryder, crouching over Ryder Roberts.
Well, see, I thought that the proper exchange had been made, and then they doubled up and tried to get another guy off again. That's the reason I thought it was a free play.
Well, it turns out to be a free play nonetheless as they hit Hare late, and it's a 1st down OBU at the Henderson 44-yard line. 2 receivers left and right, and now Nate Anderson is in the backfield without Reuben Thompson playing today. They throw it out left. Harris dodges defenders outside the numbers at the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Keelan Harris picks up 6. Clock continuing to wind down, only 4:39 with the wind in their face for OBU.
And a 2-point lead.
2nd down and 4. Bison going quickly. 2 receivers to the near side. Anderson, the single setback. Hare drops for the 46. Pocket holding. Now he moves the pocket right. Throws on the run, and it is caught on the near side boundary. Braden Phipps making a diving catch, and somehow he was able to get at least 1 toe in bounds.
Julian Clark and Braden Phipps were open initially on the right side. Hare didn't see him. Great job by Phipps again, coming back to the quarterback like he did at Southern Arkansas.
Braden, another big possession reception. Gets 9, a 1st down to the 29-yard line. Quick throw out right, and Phipps on a low throw dropped the ball. And that play was not going to go very far at all as it was diagnosed by Trenton Moore, number 51.
I like the wheel route, getting the ball in Keelan Harris's hands 2 plays ago. Right at the line of scrimmage, his feet are so quick, he dodged the defender, got up for 7.5 yards.
3:53 to play, third quarter. OBU 14, Henderson State 12. Second and 10, Bison at the 29. Preston Hare on a quarterback draw, runs inside the 25, and Hare stretches down to the 23-yard line. He ran to the left side behind Big Alaska, Jake Foshee, and the sophomore, and Okie from Muskogee, Caleb Butler.
Great job by OBU mixing up that quarterback draw with Preston Hare, because that really relieves the pass rush. The ready linemen are confused a lot where they can't pin their ears back and come in the backfield.
Third down and 4. They will bring 2 backs in the backfield. Anderson is the single setback. Nate gets the carry. Nate Anderson is hit at the 20, short of the first down, and then spins to the 18 for a first down carry.
Nice job having that extra 2 running backs in the backfield, extra block. Anderson reads that well and just powers over the first down marker.
Chris Jensen had nothing but nice words to say about Nate Anderson and his prospects here on Bison Hill. He's been out there for half of this series. First down carry, OBU to the 18. Out of the pistol, play action pass. Hare being rushed, coming right, looking downfield, throws, and it is caught for the touchdown. A diving reception, Keelan Harris, touchdown OBU.
Oh my goodness. That throw is headed for the turf. Keelan elevates himself, stretches out, and is able to make the catch. A fantastic throw and a great comeback crossing catch for Keelan Harris. Man, that was pretty.
Beautiful.
That is his 14th touchdown of the season. Coming into the year, the career record for touchdown receptions was 17. Here is Garcia on for the point after try. Into the wind, kick is up, and it is good off the hospitality tents at the south end here of the Crane Family Stadium and Herd Athletic Complex. 2:46 to play, third quarter. Your score, Oklahoma Baptist 21, 16th ranked Henderson State 12. We'll step aside for these local messages on the OBU Football Radio Network.
In the classroom, in the community, and in competition, you can truly investing in champions. Learn more and sign up today at obubison.com/BA. And Bison fans, stand up and make some noise for t-shirts.
Can only control what you
You're right.
got to win this game and win the next one.
Okay. You're right, Scott. I'm just saying that's not what we needed to have happen.
Well, I see what you're saying.
Devin Adams, Cameron Tyler, speak for the Rays.
Garcia to boot it away. Shallow kick into the wind. Return from the 17. That is Turner, and he's up into just shy of the 35-yard line. He went straight up the gut, and Josh Arnold adds to his career total tackles as he belts down Cameron Turner.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you it's a good. I'm happy to tell you it's a good thing he made that tackle, because if he doesn't make that tackle, I think that ball is returned all the way.
Cameron Thomas actually was the returner.
Yeah, I think if you don't have your A player, Josh Arnold, out there, you don't make that tackle.
There you go.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line. Good point, Scott. Tight end right, wide receivers left and right. Bison leading 21-12. First play is a play-action pass on the slant over the middle. Guess who? It's Elliott Curry. Running left to the 30, to the 25. Curry to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Henderson State.
What a move by Curry. Juking Jay Jordan. First out runs him on the slant, and then two Bison had the angle, but Curry too fast.
56 yards on a slant over the middle, and once he bounced out to his left, it was a foot race, and OBU was not going to win it.
Well, that guy that we all know about, Mo, he just came into the stadium and he just got kicked back out again. That would be momentum.
Here is David Heaton's point after try. High snap, ball is down. Heaton's kick is on the way, and the extra point is good. So just like that, with 2:27 to play in the third, OBU's advantage is down to 2, 21-19.
See, that's a first down pass. That's why a lot of times in this conference, I think that first down is a passing down. When all the linebackers are up playing the run, you get one-on-one on the outside, and then you have a playmaker like Elliott Curry go all the way.
Well, and you had great play action on that too, because those linebackers all bought the handoff that never did occur.
Elliott Curry just showed why he is a reigning preseason Division II All-American, and last year a second-team All-American for the Henderson State Reddies, actually back in 2019. He also has been tabbed as a preseason Harlan Hill candidate, one of 6 receivers in Division II football to be tabbed for consideration into the Division II equality of the Heisman.
Well, you look at it, Henderson gets the ball in their hands of their playmaker, Elliott Curry, a bad man. But just on the prior touchdown, Oklahoma Baptist got the ball in a huge playmaker's hand, Keelan Harris, which ran all the way across the field, ran that ball down, kept it from hitting the turf. 2 outstanding plays by 2 outstanding receivers.
Here's the kickoff from right to left. This will not be returned, nor will it go out of bounds as it bounces into the end zone. And OBU will have it first down and 10 on the touchback at the 25-yard line. Couple of notes. Preston Hare needed 3 passing attempts today to become the all-time record holder, not at OBU, but in Great American Conference history. He has eclipsed that today, and Hare is 14 of 20 passing. Also, you remember last week, a rare win for the Bison in Arkansas, just their second east of the Arkansas-Oklahoma State line. Henderson State has been the exact opposite of the Sooner State. They are 23-1 all-time in Great American Conference games within the state of Oklahoma. First down and 10 of the 25-yard line with 2:27 to play here in quarter number 3. Let's see if OBU's offense can keep the pressure on Henderson State. Cordell starts the motion. Hare drops. He's looking left. Ball tipped, and it is intercepted at the 20-yard line and returned inside the 15. Cameron Thomas with the deflection interception, and Henderson State sideline is fired up.
Preston Hare just staring down the wide receiver too long, and the lineman just waiting and waiting. And as soon as he released it, jumped up and batted that ball up in the air.
Well, it went up in the air and looked like a high fly to center field. And the center fielder in this case got underneath it and intercepted it. And the momentum has completely swung to the other side.
First and 10, Henderson State inside the red zone at the 13-yard line with 2:18 to play in the third quarter. Adam Morse walks up behind his center. Hunter Knobs says something. Now we'll work out of a pistol formation with Deuce Sproles as the tailback. Sproles gets the give straight ahead. He's to the 5, and a flag comes in at the end of the play as he was taking Jay Jordan on for a free ride along with Felipe Alvear.
I think we're going to see a helmet-to-helmet here.
Let's hope you're wrong, Brooksy, but we're about to find out.
I think it's the other way.
Holding against Henderson State.
I thought the helmet-to-helmet was the other way.
You know what? I wouldn't have argued with you because the timing of the flag, it was real late and thrown at the end of the play, not where you normally would see a holding penalty. So the Reddies will go back to the 18-yard line and bring up first down and 15 from there. Henderson State with a win for just 2:05 remaining here in the third quarter. OBU leading 14-12, but the Reddies have intercepted Preston Hare and now are perched to retake the lead. Sproles is offset to the left of Morse. 2 receivers left and right. Morse a quick drop, throws out right, ball caught and dropped at the 15-yard line.
I think Trajan Land's got a fingertip on that to knock that trajectory off just a hair to mess it up to the receiver.
Jalen Abraham was the intended target. He will come off to the far sideline, a freshman from Shreveport, Louisiana, and he's probably mumbling to himself. It's now second down and 15.
He's also looking straight into the sun as it sets out here into the west.
That would have been Abraham's first catch of the year. Second and 15, Reddies at the OBU 18. Morse for the 25 to throw over the middle, and it is caught on a diving catch. Touchdown Henderson State. And guess who it was? Elliott Curry.
Jay Jordan was right there close to him, but never got on the inside. Perfect pass right in front of Elliott. Elliott with the dive, he kind of bobbled, but kept it off the turf.
For the most part, until the last two drives, OBU has contained Elliott Curry. He now has his 14th receiving touchdown, and he has taken this game over himself. Here is Heaton's point after try. It is on the way, and it is good. So now it is a 26-21 Henderson State advantage with 1:38 to play here in the third quarter. Remember what we talked about, guys, in the pregame show. Defensive stops, mistakes, turnovers. OBU just gifted them 6 right there.
No doubt about it.
Well, you can talk about the interception, and, if you take the play, you cannot take it away. But if you take that same play, a ball batted up in the air by a defensive lineman, and you put it in the mix there for 50 times, 47 of those times, the ball's going to fall to the ground. It's just one of those things. You cannot take it away. But, these kind of things happen. And sometimes these things happen when the momentum turns. When you have suddenly got a 2-possession lead and it goes back to 1 within 30 seconds from when you had it, things can change for you, and that's what's happened to the Bison.
3 plays, 2 touchdown passes. Morse to Curry, one from 56, the other on 2nd and 15 for the Bison, 18 off the turnover. And all of a sudden, Henderson State has a 5-point lead, 26-21. David Heaton approaches, swings his leg, and puts this one to the near side, and it just did get into the end zone. Well, he's flirting with that coffin corner again.
Yeah. Well, he cost him 10 yards on one of them. That one he got it to stay inside the pile and go in. Hey, we always appreciate everybody that listens to us. I got a quick note from my broadcast partner on the Metro PC Football Report on our Oklahoma City affiliate, 1340 AM. We have that show on Saturday mornings. Dick Balancefin, who's the athletic director of the Putnam City School District, he says he's all the way out in El Reno. He's listening to us, says hello. We're doing a good job.
Appreciate the kind words. Go Bison. OBU still has a long ways to go in this when the wind to their back over the final 15 minutes. 98 seconds to play in the third quarter. The give straight ahead to Tyler Stever. He's all the way to the 37, a gain of a dozen. And here we go, Tyler Stever trying to take control of things late in the third and early in the fourth. Another handoff to Stever, straight ahead. He manages a yard as he gets to the 38 and it is pushed back. Clock at 1:13 and counting to go in the third quarter.
That was the exact same play, but that time linebacker Jacob Greenfield came up and filled the hole.
2 receivers left and right. Cordell and Harris, who have a touchdown reception each, split wide left. Braden Phipps is in the slot to the near side along with Julian Clark. Down the motion, Tyler Stever. It's a quarterback draw. Preston Harris going to run, and he is tripped up. How about that play at the 39-yard line? Deldrick Shields got him by a shoestring and threw him off balance.
That was an outstanding play by Shields because Harris is a pretty strong runner too, like Stever breaking the first tackle, but that left arm hit Harris so hard in the left thigh that it knocked him off balance.
3rd down and 9. Boy, you better convert here. You're going to be punting into the wind. Down by 5. Under a half minute to go in the third quarter. Henderson State shows pressure. They back off. Hare has all day long. Throws out left. Tyler Stever behind the line is trapped. And he'll lose back to the 37-yard line.
Now you would
actually
say
Braden Phipps.
You would say, why in the world would you throw it over there and you're 10 yards from a first down? Well, the reason was the coverage was marvelous downfield by the Reddies. There was no place else to go.
Loss of 1 on Phipps' reception. That's the end of the third quarter. 15 minutes to go. OBU with some work to do. 16th ranked Henderson State leads on the road 26-21. The third quarter has been brought to you by Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law on the Bison Radio Network.
Chicken Biscuit Coupons. McCaslin in the front. Cameron Thomas back to receive.
Ethan McCassin with a booming, tight spiraling punt with the wind to his back to start the fourth quarter, and it will be fair caught by Cameron Thomas at the 13-yard line. A 51-yard net punt for Ethan McCassin. The fourth quarter brought to you by Noble McIntyre here on the Bison Radio Network. McCassin before that punt had averaged 34.5. He's in the top half of Great American Conference punters for the season through 4 punts, an average at 34.5.
Here's the update on total offense. 416 yards for Henderson State. They have 127 on the ground, 289 yards through the air. On the other side for OBU, only 247 yards. They have 123 rushing, 124 passing. You would have to call that a balanced attack. That is certain. Hare is 15 of 22 for 3 touchdowns on those 124. Adam Morse is 20 of 35 for the 289 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, and of course the long one was the 66-yard touchdown throw that gave them the lead for the first time since early in the game when they led 6-0. They had trailed sets that time, and Henderson State gets the ball here in the early moments of the fourth period with a 5-point lead.
26-21, 16th ranked Reddies. They start at their own 13-yard line after that 51-yard boot. Single setback is Sproles. Morse has gone all the way today from the gun. The give straight ahead to Sproles, and he weaves his way across the 15, close to the 16, where he goes down in the arms of linebacker Nick Boone.
Good job by Nick Boone navigating around the blockers to be the first man there.
Half a minute already deep into the fourth quarter, 26-21 Henderson State. Back-to-back touchdown passes to Elliott Curry have turned the tide of this game. Now OBU calling upon their defense once again here early in the fourth. Bison will have the wind to their back here for the remainder of the ball game. Morse to throw, drops inside the 10, throws over the middle, and it is caught. First down at the 27, and he is wrestled down at the 29-yard line. That is Mike Benning, who continues to be a favorite target when need be today of Adam Morse.
Nick Boone had him covered, but slipped and fell on the turf, leaving Benning wide open.
13 yards of Baker's dudgeon on Mike Benning's catch. That is his 5th, and he's almost over 60 yards of the afternoon. First down, Reddies at the 29-yard line. 13:44 to play in the ball game. Henderson State 26, Oklahoma Baptist 21. Morse to throw. He's running out of time, and OBU's going to sack him again. Robert Lolafia having a monster game. The junior from Carl Albert in Midwest City has his 3rd sack of Adam Morse and the 4th by the league leaders in that category.
Linebacker Nick Boone on the right side of the defense blitzes hard. That way Lolafia can't get double teamed coming with the bull rush from the other side.
Loss of 6 on Robert's 3rd sack of the afternoon. Back to the 23-yard line. 13-13 to play in the ball game. So now you have them behind the sticks. Let's keep them there. Bison able to get home today to the tune of 4 sacks. Morse with Sproles in the backfield. 2 receivers left and right. Pocket holes. Morse throws over the middle. Defender slipped, and he's wide open. That is Henley Bland. And Bland tiptoes his way past the 40 up to the 44-yard line where he's out of bounds.
A lot of cushion by freshman Jaden Henry on that play.
And we get an official stoppage of play. Robert Lolafia may have been the one that was down briefly. Another defender slipped, and Bland makes his first reception of the afternoon and only his 6th of the season. And it'll be first down and 10 at the 44 for the Reddies out of the timeout. 12:46 to play. Henderson State 26, Oklahoma Baptist 21. This is Bison football on the OBU Radio Network.
Looks like exit.
number 25 with the carry. Tripped out by number 41, Josh Arnold.
Nick Boone was the injured Bison. He walks off the near side at his own power. They hand it to Sproles, who picks up 4 right up the middle of the 48. So it's 2nd down and 6 for Henderson State. With 12 minutes exactly to play in the ball game, the clock is running. Sproles again, another handoff. Staying low to the ground, and Sproles should have a first down as he's to the 46 of OBU.
Sproles, the ball carrier. Back up on number 48, Malik Allen.
Malik Allen on the stop for the Bison.
At the Bison 46-yard line.
And now Papula is going to check out along the defensive front. In his stay is 55, Jackson Turner. 1st and 10, Henderson State in OBU territory at the 46. Bison need a turnover in a big way right here. Tied in right. They keep it on the ground. Sproles bounces out left. He's to the 35, to the 30. Sproles out of bounds at the 25 or the 26-yard line. And they are just winning this game right now as Henderson State with their offensive line that averages 298 pounds tackle to tackle.
Tyler King with another touchdown saving play. He was in coverage, and then when Sproles kicked it outside, got turned around, fought off a blocker, and still drove Sproles out of bounds.
28 yards on Sproles' longest run from scrimmage today. Already at 10:40 to go here in the football game, and Henderson State is about to snap it for the 8th time of this drive. Another handoff to Sproles, and he squirts through the pile for a yard at the 25. It'll bring up 2nd down and long.
Papula, the first man there to trip him up.
Papula has had a really nice second half. Wasn't among the tackle leaders in the first 30 minutes of play. Peter, a sophomore from Princeton, Texas, 6'3", 240 pounds. 2nd down and 9. Henderson State has taken the lead with back-to-back touchdown passes. Now they're working the clock into the win with the ground game. Back to throw is Morse, rolling right. Receiver to the near side is open. It's Xavier Malone. And he turns outside and is tackled to the 18-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and a couple for the Reddies.
Freshman Jaden Henry, the left cornerback for Oklahoma Baptist, given about 7 or 8 yards cushion there. He's been burned a couple times this season. I think he's kind of wary of someone getting behind him.
Guys, OBU has not had the football with a wind of their back in the 4th quarter, and it's already 5.5 minutes gone to this quarter. 3rd down, a long one from the 18 of the Bison. So Henderson State back in the red zone. Morris gives it straight ahead. That is Frederick O'Donnell. O'Donnell pinballing between defenders, breaking tackles. He's in for the touchdown.
Well, he is something special. Staying on his feet, standing upright. He's a load to bring down. 6'2", 200. Nice run by O'Donnell.
I mean, he absolutely shredded everybody. I mean, literally just shredded every attempted tackler. And this is where you find programs that come close to getting to a level and can't quite get to the next level. It's these kind of things like this. The air is out of this stadium right now. You're going to find out what this Bison team is made of here in the last 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Not impossible with the extra point good at 33-21, but it's going to be a hill that's going to have to be climbed with a big wind behind it.
Back after these messages on the OBU Football Radio Network.
Bison fans, your volleyball basketball teams to play on Bison Hill all of next week. Go to OBUBison.com to see the schedule for next week's home events, or use your OBU Bison mobile app.
There with the hope.
Stretch my hands. Like this is what you like. Try to take the life right.
You're gonna need a real quick
I was looking at the and I don't even fight lights. I was looking at my so Christ like I was screaming at the beat just like Mike.
Folks, that is what championship mindset programs do. 10 plays, 87 yards, almost entirely on the ground, into the wind, owning possession of the football for nearly 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. And now OBU is at a 2-score deficit, 33-21 against 16th-ranked Henderson here in Shawnee. Heaton squibs it into the wind and is fallen on at the 42-yard line. Well, that's a gift because OBU just 58 yards away from perhaps a quick touchdown to get back in this ball game.
That was Jay Hill again, caught the other short kick right in that area.
Hey, he did a good job. That ball is going to be open on an onside kick for a bunch of people coming outside. He did a good job to dive back and get it.
1st and 10, Bison at their own 42-yard line. Let's see if they air it out now with a wind of their back. You almost have to, trailing by 2 scores. Sam Sharp, the extra tight end, hustling on the field. He'll line up tight end right. Tight end left is Seth Berry with Stever in the backfield. Hare gets a block from Tyler, rolling left, hit as he dumps it off, and the ball is nearly intercepted.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a bad decision on the part of Preston Hare as Jacob Greenfield nearly picked it off.
Good job by tight end Seth Berry to play defensive back there to keep that ball from being intercepted. But, Hare was getting hit as he threw, so that he was trying to get rid of it. It was a good defensive play all the way around by Henderson.
2nd down and 10. Bison at their own 42-yard line. Reddies with 9:05 to play have taken control of the ball game. They trailed 21-12. They now have put 22 points on the board. Hare to throw outright. Ball is caught, and that is Julian Clark, I believe, at the 49-yard line in front of the Ready bench. A gain of 7, 3rd down and 3.
Oklahoma Baptist has used those little short out patterns or thrown to the sideline all game long. One of these times, Keelan Harris or Cornell doing out and up can burn Henderson State.
8:45 to play of the ball game. OBU down 33-21. Back to throw is Preston Hare from the 40. Guns it over the middle, and the ball is caught at the 36. Running left to the 35. That's Marshall struggling to get inside the 35, and we stop short of the 34. And it took 3 Reddies, 1 dog to get him to the ground.
That was, and that was Julian Clark again. Clark had that out pattern first. He goes out up the right numbers and then cuts across the field on a crossing route. Beautiful throw by Hare.
Trips to the far side. Single receiver Josh Cordell in the slot to the near side. Stever empties the backfield. Motions right. Hare with all day long to throw. Lobs it into the end zone, and the ball is incomplete. He was looking for Keelan Harris, and Harris is really upset. I don't know if he's upset at Preston. I don't know if he's upset that there wasn't a flag thrown.
He's yelling at Jake Chapman. The whole time Chapman was holding his shirt, and Harris didn't like it. Harris was open. Braden Phipps was wide open to the right of Harris as well.
I'll be honest with you, Scott. I thought as that play was developing, that's who he was going for, was Braden Phipps.
Me too. I did too.
2nd and 10 at the 35 of Henderson State. Preston drops to the 44. Flush for the pocket, rolls right. Harris makes the catch, 1st down, and then he's hit and dropped at the 23-yard line.
Hey, you got a playmaker like Keelan Harris. I like what Hare did right there. He's up frustrated on the play before, go right to him up the middle of the field.
Fresh set of downs on Harris's 12-yard catch to the 23-yard line with 7:45 to play in the ball game, and the clock is rolling. Bison trail it 33-21 to 16th-ranked Henderson State. Hare again to throw, looking right. Has Stever out of the backfield to the 20, and he waltzes inbounds as Cameron Thomas tackled him right at the 20-yard line. I thought he was going to get out of bounds.
Well, he did get out of bounds, but the official on the play ruled the stoppage before he stepped out of bounds.
7:10 to play of the ball game. A gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 at the 20-yard line for OBU. They are into the Henderson State red zone. 4 receivers, 3 left. Preston drops, throws, in traffic. The catch is made by Harris at the 9-yard line. He made it right in front of Greenfield, the linebacker, who drops him to the turf.
And there were 3 other crimson and white players around him right there, again able to curl and get that ball into your hands.
1st and goal to go, Oklahoma Baptist at the Henderson State 9-yard line. On this, the 8th play of the drive. They give straight ahead to Stever. Draws contact inside the 5. Tyler still going. And he is finally stopped at the 2-yard line. Good run blocking by Butler, Roberts, and Frazier, the center and 2 guards for OBU.
And it took 4 Reddies to bring Tyler Stever to a stop.
Second down and goal to go OBU at the 3-yard line of the Reddies. Julian Clark, Braden Phipps, Keelan Harris split wide right. In the slot to the near side is Josh Cordell with Steve in the backfield. Hare will keep it on a quarterback draw. Preston Hare is getting a shove. Did he get into the end zone? That does not appear as if he did. They're going to stop him at the 1, so you have 2 snaps to get a yard here with 6:04 to play in the ball game.
You also have a flag on the play.
I wonder if that was a face mask.
It was.
Hare was hitting his face mask while he was on the ground.
Yeah, flag came in, you're right, late.
It's a face.
And it is personal foul. Face mask, you're right, against Henderson State. All that does is move the ball just inside the 1, but it gives you now a first down, so it extends this drive to multiple snaps if need be. So the ball was inside the 1, 6 minutes to play. Stever, the single setback. Tyler gets the handoff. Tyler behind the center. Ryder Roberts in for the touchdown.
What a big push by the lineman, Ryder Roberts, Caleb Butler, Zach Frazier, right up there in the middle of the 2 guards in the center. That was outstanding.
So a quick answer, 58 yards at OBU. Is pending the extra point, trying to put point number 28 of the afternoon on the board against Henderson State. Garcia to do it, out of the hold of McCassin. Everything is perfect. The kick at the north end of the stadium is up, and it is good. 5:54 to play. Oklahoma Baptist trails 33-28, although there's a couple of flags now in the end zone. That would be the defensive secondary. They, too, came in very, very late. So Tyler Stever now has his 34th total touchdown. That is a career record for a Bison. And that is his 32nd career rushing total, also a school record. We've yet to see whether or not the point after stands. OBU is coming off the field. Dwayne Barbie is the referee. It's an illegal substitution against Henderson State. OBU will decline, and the extra point is good. 33-27 is our score. We'll step aside for these messages. 5:54 to play. It's a local break on the Bison Radio Network.
After the extra quarter, score Henderson State 33, over Bison 28. Go deep!
Well, you got to keep them out of field goal range. Get the ball back. I know I'm telling you guys.
I don't think they'll kick it into the wind.
Garcia Rodriguez will kick off for the Bison. Kevin Adams and Cameron Thomas for the Reddies.
Well, the defense has played exceptionally well today, regardless of what total offense numbers may be posted by Henderson State. They have to have the stop of the year here, guys, at a 5-point game with just under 6 minutes to play.
Well, we talked about the difference between championship teams and teams trying to get there. The offense did their part to try to move the momentum back. You're right. The defense has to complete the play.
Here we go. Garcia Rodriguez boots it away, and this should be a touchback, and it is, as it's 9 yards deep in the end zone. Soccer tonight at home here on Bison Hill as they will take on Northwestern Oklahoma State. OBU dropped a 2-1 heartbreaker this past week in Weatherford to Southwestern. Looks like they're going to finish second in the league standings. And if so, tonight's preview with the Rangers here in Shawnee would be a preview of the first round of the conference tournament coming up next week in Weatherford. 1st and 10, Reddies at the 25-yard line. We thought it would be a good one, and it certainly is not disappointed today. 5:54 to play. Frederick O'Donnell starts this series, lined up in the backfield, right of Adam Morse. 2 tight ends to the near side for the Reddies, and they hand it off to O'Donnell. He stacked up, bounces right, and look at the gang tackler. There's about 7 defenders around the football as O'Donnell will go down after just a 3-yard gain.
Well, after that touchdown run, you can understand why they needed 7, isn't it right? That he can shred them.
Bison football brought to you by ShopOBUBison.com, the official online store of OBU Athletics. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. 2nd down and 7. Henderson State at their own 28-yard line. Moving into the breeze here with the 4th quarter. Shirley, the tight end, motions and lines up to the near side. Morse will drop to the 21, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Mike Benning, and Nick Boone was right there with him in coverage.
Boone had his right arm on Benning's back before the throw got there, got away with one. OBU is outmanned over here. When they brought that second tight end on the right side, it was 3-on-2. Morse threw it to the wrong guy, wide open guy on the
sidelines, trying to urge this good senior day crowd to their feet to make some noise. Huge play, the biggest of the afternoon. 3rd and 7, Henderson State of their own 28. Bison have 3 along the front. They look like they're going to rush a 4th. And back to throw is Morse from the 20 over the middle of the ball. Incomplete. It's too high. Brandon Spencer was in coverage. Mike Benning ended up on the turf, but because he slipped. And what a 3-and-out series for Brandon Morris's club.
Outstanding, and that was a product of Oklahoma Baptist rushing Morse all night long. Morse got a little happy feet and threw that ball quickly and behind the receiver.
And here is the biggest punt of the ball game coming up from Tristan Heaton, a 6'1", 192-pound sophomore from Humble, Texas. Heaton stands back at the 14. He has not been used much at all this season. A line drive kick into the wind. Alvear is going to return it. Circles back to the 29, to the 30, 35, across the 40. Good return by Felipe Alvear to the 44-yard line. He is out there in place of Shea Garner, the senior from Skiatook, who is out with injury, and that's the longest punt return of the year for a Bison.
Well, give Felipe some real credit. Instead of thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't even get near this football, he tracked it down, went over, reached out, caught it, and then headed north.
Like a center fielder over the shoulder. That was an outstanding, huge play, because if Felipe Alvear doesn't go back and catch that line drive punt, it's going to roll down near the 10-yard line. Exactly. The Bison started at the 45.
That was a terrific punt into the wind, too, by Tristan Heaton. 1st and 10, OBU at the 44. Give to Stever, coming left, cuts right, midfield, 45, 1st down to the Henderson State 43-yard line. And finally, Parham came up from a safety spot to put the brakes on the freight train, wearing number 7, Tyler Stever.
Great seal blocks by left tackle Jake Foshee and tight end Sam Sharp. Wasn't buried that time.
1st and 10 of the 43-yard line. Sharp is lined up tight end left. They have 2 receivers to the short side. Again, it's a handoff to Stever into the middle of the line. Tyler only gets 2 this time to the 41. OBU can afford to work the clock. They are down 5 with the football and 4:06 to play in the contest.
Have you got Stever's stats for most carries in a game? Because he's certainly looking like he's making a run at it.
He has 19 if the stats are correct. I think that may have been his 20th carry of the afternoon.
I believe his 20th, yeah.
Yep. 2nd down at 8. Bison in Henderson territory at the 41-yard line with 3:44 to play. Here on a quarterback draw is going to run 40, may go, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Oklahoma Baptist. Holy Toledo, the senior from the Trophy Club, Texas, in his final home game as a Bison on a quarterback draw, had nothing but green acres, and he raced untouched 41 yards for the go-ahead score.
What a great formation by the Bison. Again, you have 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. That pulls the linebackers out. And then on the draw, that means there's nobody up the middle. The safety's on one side going deep to help in coverage.
Preston Hare's ability to run just adds such a dimension to this offense. OBU leading by 1 will go for 2 to make it a 3-point lead. Look for Hare again. It's a quarterback draw with an empty backfield. This time he runs into the defender, and he will not get the 2-point conversion. Well, he ran right into a mountain of a man.
Yeah.
And he had no chance to get across the goal line.
Now, after that big touchdown run on the quarterback draw, there's no way that Henderson State was letting him do it again.
Timeout, 3:37 to play. Oklahoma Baptist 34, 16th ranked Henderson State 33. This is a local break on the Bison Radio Network. One stop, guys. Preston Hare last week went over 100 yards at Southern Arkansas, only the second time in his career. That last carry, 10 for 86 today. Here is Gigi to boot it away. This will be returned from the goal line out to the 10, inside the numbers to the 15, dodges one defender, and he is tripped up at the 22-yard line. There is a flag on the play. It is upfield from where the run ended at the 36-yard line.
I think it's holding on Reese Payne of Henderson.
Preston Hare came into the ball game third all-time in Great American Conference history in total offense, 11,427 yards. And it is a hold. Good call, One Dog. It's against Henderson State. Today he has thrown for 173 yards and rushed for 86. And a huge drive now starts inside the 20 for the Reddies at the 18.
Into the wind, you got to cover Elliott Curry. He's the game breaker. He's split out right here on the numbers.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, along with Scott Wallace, John Brooks, John Zonlow, Todd Miller with you at Shawnee. We thought it would be a good one. It is not disappointed. Handoff on 1st down and nowhere to go, as they were waiting that time for Deuce Sproles, who stretches out for a 2-yard gain to the 20.
Noah Velliser with a good tackle. That's very surprising. Running the ball right there with only just over 3 minutes left.
Scott, we've seen the flags a lot more starched than they are today, but it's evident the way these two teams have attacked going into that win today, it's a much bigger factor.
Oh, it's a big factor. It helps the Bison's advantage right here.
2nd down and 8 at the 20-yard line. 2 receivers left and right. Morris throws out left, and it's too high, incomplete, looking for Elliott Curry. And I'm telling you what, Tyler King had pick 6 if he holds on to that one.
Tyler King needed to cheat up. He saw Elliott Curry come out and beat his teammate, but Curry was back with deep help. If King just breaks when that ball's thrown, it's pick 6 like you mentioned.
3rd down, a long 8. Line of scrimmage just shy of the 20-yard line for Henderson State. They need to get to the 23 of their own end of the field. The crowd urging on the Bison defense. Morris awaiting the snap back from Knobs, gets it, drops inside the 10, pump fakes, throws over the ball, tipped it, intercepted by Arnold at the 13, 18, running right to the 15, and he's up, truck down inside the 10-yard line. Josh Arnold dropped one earlier in the half. That time Adam Morris was not lucky enough, as Arnold in his final game tips it to himself and returns it inside the 10.
That's because the Bison have had pressure on Morse all day long. He had happy feet in there. He's under pressure, down 1 point with only 2:43 left. Reading the eyes of the quarterback, Josh Arnold, just staying there in the middle of the field, tips it up to himself for the huge INT.
1st down and goal to go, OBU with 2:43 to play. They are poised to extend a 1-point lead after Arnold's interception puts them up in the red zone. Stever is in the backfield. Hare is out of the gun. Berry is tied into the near side. The give to Tyler Stever into the middle of the pile. He'll manage 1 to the 8. And Henderson State may have to start thinking about timeouts now with 2:35 to play. And OBU again perched deep in the red zone. It is a timeout charged to Henderson State. So the Reddies should have 1 timeout, or make that 2 timeouts remaining. OBU has 2 timeouts as well. Of course, keep in mind they burnt their first of 30 seconds into the third quarter.
I want the Bison to go for the end zone, not just run out the clock, because like you said, the Reddies have 2 timeouts left, 2:35, Oklahoma Baptist 34, Henderson 33. I think you're going to have man-to-man coverage here, Todd, on the left side with Cornell and Keelan Harris, with Henderson bringing up everybody to play the run.
I have not been part of this program since its inception, but I know the history of it. It started with car-like practices back in 2012 with no hope of playing a season until 2013. 8 years later, OBU is perched to knock off a top 20 Division II team. This game is for the present. It's also for the future, as well as the past that have laid the foundation. A lot of work to be done, though, with 2:35 to play. OBU leading just 135-34. They have it. Second down and goal to go at the 8-yard line. Full house look at the backfield. They give it to Stever behind right guard. Tyler punches it down to the 4. And Henderson State will burn another timeout with 2:28 to go. And a touchdown here, Scott, really makes this thing difficult on Henderson State.
Oh, yes, and Josh Cornell, you had 3 running backs in the backfield surrounding Hare. Cornell on the wide side of the field here on the left side, man-to-man, nobody even close because the other guy's on the other side of the formation. I think that's very advantageous for the Bison.
One of the areas that OBU has done very well in against a good Reddies defense is third down conversions. They're 7 of 12. Henderson State, meanwhile, is 5 of 14. Coming in, Henderson State had the 9th best third down success rate allowed by opponents, 44%. OBU on third down conversions was 3rd at just under 54%. Henderson State, their only loss came 3 weeks ago to Harding, who is just dismantling everybody. OBU's last loss a month ago today in Russellville, Arkansas to Arkansas Tech, and it's a loss that continues to haunt this very special season.
Yeah, I want to throw to the end zone because even if you run it, just using their last timeout, it's not going to take much time off the clock anyway.
Berry and Sharper in the backfield and a diamond along with Tyler Stever. They give it to Stever, left side. He's hit at the 2 and is inside the 1-yard line. Wow. Now you have a decision right here because it is less than a full yard for the touchdown. A 3-point field goal means that a touchdown could beat you. A 6-pointer right here with a Bison and an extra point means it would take a touchdown in the winning moments of this one and the 2-point conversion just to force overtime.
Well, Henderson is now out of timeouts, and like you said, inside the 1-yard line, looks like about 12 inches, about a foot to go. Stever pounded that in there next time. I'd give it to him again, make him go 99 yards if you don't make it.
Guarantee you this is an easy call. Easy call for Chris Jensen because even if you don't make it, now they would still have to have a field goal. Henderson State would start this drive inside their 1. Right now there's 2:21 to play and they have no timeouts remaining. Now do keep in mind we saw Southeastern of this field 2 weeks ago go 99 yards in the last 134 of the ball game with only 1 timeout. And an untimed down touchdown forced overtime, and the Bison eventually beat the Savage Storm here in Shawnee. OBU is going to go for it. The ball is resting up against the end zone. It's a wildcat. Tyler Stever fakes the handoff, goes behind the left block. I don't know if he got in. They still have not signaled it. Second effort, and I think they're going to say that Henderson State has stopped OBU.
They stopped him.
That is unbelievable behind that offensive line. And with number 7, you cannot get half a yard.
And you're going to have to double team Elliott Curry here on this. He's going to try to break loose. They're going to try to get a huge play with Curry. Not that the other receivers aren't capable, but Curry's the game breaker.
2:14 to play. Henderson State without timeouts takes over inside their 1-yard line. So they have to be careful, especially the way the Bison have been able to get home today, Scott, and sack Morse to the tune of a season-high 4 sacks.
It really doesn't matter. They just can't get sacked, period, no matter where the play is.
Single setback, Deuce Sproles to the left. 2 receivers short left, 1 receiver to the near side. Morse will hand it off. Flags all over the place as Sproles is tackled at the 3-yard line. They've thrown it from the defensive backfield. Makes me think that maybe the play clock had expired.
Yeah.
Illegal substitution, the call against OBU. Oh, man, you can't have that.
Just let them get out of the shadow of their own goal line.
So the line of scrimmage is at the 5. It's 1st down and 5 from there, as Henderson State obviously will accept the penalty. 2:09 to play. OBU clinging to a 1-point lead over the visitors from Arkadelphia, Arkansas, the 16th-ranked Reddies of Henderson State. Sproles with his heels on the goal line to the north end. Morse, same spot. Out of the gun, about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Adam pressure, rolling right from the end zone, dumps it off. It's incomplete. And he threw it at the feet of Elliott Curry, and Tyler King was right there with, step for step, the All-American.
Great pressure by Nick Boone, and Xavier Lott just flushed Morse out of the pocket, running right. It's a good thing he had a wide receiver there in the flat, because that would have been grounding in a safety.
Clock stops on the incompleted pass with 2:04 to play in the ball game. Bison 34, Reddies 33. OBU beat Southern Arkansas last week for the first time. Can they knock off Henderson State and keep postseason hopes alive here today, going to Southern Nazarene next week? 2nd down from the 5. It's 5 yards to gain for the 1st down. Morse to throw for the end zone. Now starting to be pressured. He'll take off and run left. 1st down across the 20, and Adam Morse slides to a stop at the 23-yard line. So he picks up 18. The clock, though, will stop momentarily for the movement of chains.
No timeouts left. Big run.
1:45 and counting to play of the ball game. Morse with an empty set. Guns it over the middle. The ball's caught by Elliott in front of the defender, and he's dropped at the 29-yard line. Pretty good coverage that time by Matt Norman.
Yeah, he wasn't open at all.
2nd down and 4 at the 29. Morse wants to throw again into the wind. Dumps it off left. Again, it's caught. This time it's Sproles. Beyond the 1st down marker at the 34, a gain of 5. Henderson State in hurry-up mode. 1:19 to play in the ball game.
Good job by Boone by keeping the runner from getting out of bounds.
Morse gets the snap. Now will take off and run to the 40, 45, slides down near the 48-yard line.
Torian Smith had Adam Morse at the line of scrimmage, but his shirt was pulled, and Morse just ran right on by.
1 minute to go in the ball game. Henderson State just outside midfield at their own 47-yard line. Without timeouts, they need just a field goal. Morse drops to the 39. Morse under pressure. Morse is able to get it off, and it's incomplete. He was nearly sacked that time by Malik Allen.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's just the field goals for the win, not a tie. Henderson State is down 1 point. Oklahoma Baptist with just a 3-man rush. I think they're going to have to add one more guy there on the pass rush.
Longest field goal attempted this season for Henderson State has been a 43-yarder. That was a few weeks ago. 2nd and 10 to the 47-yard line, 51 seconds to play. Bison trying to get home and get a big sack here. It'd be their 5th of the day. They rush 3. Knobs snaps the ball, back to throw. Morse throws left, and the leaping catch is made. And
out of bounds.
Malone was out of bounds at the OBU 46-yard line, so it's now 3rd down and 10.
Because that was a good force out. Malone would have came down in bounds. I know the NFL switched that rule on the force out. I don't know here in college, but anyway, he was forced out.
45 seconds to play. The crowd making noise. OBU trying to knock off a nationally ranked opponent for the first time in the Division II era. There's Curry lined up short left. 2 receivers split both ways. Now they empty the backfield. Sproles comes in motion. They throw a little slip screen for Curry at midfield, 45 to the 40. Elliott Curry dives down at the 36-yard line of OBU with 36 seconds to play.
Wow.
That is a terrific call by the Reddies.
Curry keeping his feet, breaking 3 tackles. it was KJ Price Jr. that he hit that last foot to knock him off balance, or he might have been gone.
Now keep in mind, Henderson State, whatever field goal attempt that they're forced to try to win it with a field goal is kicking into that wind, which has been a factor.
Now, I think Coach Maxfield is not confident in the kicking game. He's passed a lot, especially going into the wind, and that's where Henderson State missed the extra point going to the south end zone.
The chains are set. Once they spot the ball for play, the clock will begin to roll. 36 seconds to go here in Shawnee. Bison 34, Henderson State 33. Empty backfield. 2-by-3 formation for the quarterback, Adam Morris. He'll drop. Morris over the middle, and it is caught. Xavier Malone makes the catch, and he dives down at the 28-yard line. That is a gain of 8. Now they have to hurry. Morris fumbled the snap and then finally spikes it with 21 seconds to go. And that is going to be a penalty against Henderson State.
I thought that once you fumble, you could throw it again. I don't know.
The quarterback must have never had possession. Therefore, we have
intentional grounding is going to be the call.
Should be a 10-second runoff as well.
That's what the coaches next door are screaming about as well. Right now, there's 21 seconds remaining, so if there is a 10-second runoff, Henderson State will be down to its final 11 seconds.
Scott Maxfield is clearly playing for the field goal, just these little slants over the middle, no timeouts left. With OBU only having that three-man rush, it keeps those wide-open slant passing lanes open.
Yep, they're going to have a 10-second runoff, and then they will lose the down, so it's going to be third down. 11 seconds to play. The line of scrimmage.
Was he going to mark the ball back or not?
I don't know. Right now it's at the 30.
And that's where the line of scrimmage was.
The original line of scrimmage was the 28. The umpire has the ball in his hand, and they put it down at the 31.
It's a 10-yard penalty.
So it's a loss of 3, bringing up third down and 5.
It's not a spot foul.
No, it is not.
That's what they're calling.
Now the white cap is going to come in and visit here. You know, there should be a 10-yard penalty, a 10-second runoff, and a loss of down on intentional grounding.
Yeah, they were spotting it where he spiked the ball, and I guess that's where they're leaving it.
So it's third down and 5 at the 31-yard line. Adam Morse with Deuce Sproles in the backfield. OBU 11 seconds away for the upset of Henderson State. Morse to throw. Throws left, and the ball is caught by Curry. Turns inside the 25 and is down there. That'll be enough for a first down. Now with, let's say, 1 second to go.
That's what it says. It's backwards, but this is a field goal right here. Going to be 42 yards.
Into the wind.
43.
Again, the longest field goal of the year is 43 by Henderson State. It's from the left hash from David Heaton to win the ball game. Keep the conference title hopes alive for Henderson State. Snap back, ball down, kick on the way, into the wind. He's got plenty of leg, and it's good.
Wow. Got to move it up. Three-man rush, no pressure, all the way, a little dink and dunk up the field.
Unbelievable. And they have mobbed David Heaton on the field as Henderson State. They have matched a season-long field goal of 43 yards as time expires.
I guess that's the college rule. If you mark those 10 yards back, there's no way that ball makes it over the crossbar.
On the final play of the ball game, Henderson State's hopes for a Great American Conference Championship remain alive with the Battle of the Ravine next week in Arkadelphia for OBU. Their season will come to an end next week in Bethany against Southern Nazarene.
99-plus yard drive.
Final score, Henderson State 36, Oklahoma Baptist 34. Our postgame show is coming up next on the Bison Radio Network.
Fans, thank you for your support this season. Keep up with your Bison football team as they travel to Bethany next week. Take on Southern Nazarene. Keep up with all other sports by downloading the app and following us on social media. We look forward to seeing you at other events the rest of the year. Buckle up, drive safely, and go Bison.
Okay. Welcome back here to the McIntyre Law post-game review. Todd Miller, Scott Wanish, Brooksy is on the field. We will have our post-game show with John in just a moment. An ugly scene that was diffused relatively quickly, Scott, by the coaching staffs of both Henderson State and Oklahoma Baptist. Apparently the Bison took offense to Henderson State and their celebration after the game-winning kick. Give the Reddies credit. I mean, they did what they had to do without a timeout. And in the face of an intentional grounding, which we've been told is not a 10-yard mark-off. It's actually from the spot of the foul, but there was a 10-second runoff. So that's why Henderson State had a chance to get that field goal off. And indeed they did, as they win at 36-34. And it's heartbreak city for Oklahoma Baptist, because this means there will be no playoffs. There will be no postseason bowl game for a team that certainly had those lofty expectations, Scott, coming into this season.
Outstanding game. Oklahoma Baptist plays Henderson tough on this field every single time.